the journey has been. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing CPT season. So many amazing players. And of course, my phenomenal co-host, Brian F., has put in so much work throughout this entire season. Capcom Cup is right around the corner, and I could not be more excited and somewhat somber that maybe Street Fighter V is kind of coming to a close. Brian, how are you feeling over there, bro? It's a weird time.
It's definitely feeling like the end of an era. Listen, I've been through these times before. I remember when Street Fighter IV was coming to a close, and it felt like there was still so much life to squeeze out of that game, so much more tech defined, so much more tournament matches to practice. And I feel the same way about Street Fighter V, but all good things come to an end, and we're sure to send this game off with a bang with the upcoming Capcom Cup. Before we can do that, we of course have to look back at who just qualified for the Capcom Cup, because we're seeing all the players that are going to make up this amazing event and speculate on the people remaining, because we still have half the player pool to actually crown or punch their ticket into the Capcom Cup. So it's not over yet. We're in the final leg here before leading into the big event, and we're going to go ahead and break all that down in this episode. And before we do that, we just of course have to give a big shout out to Capcom Fighters Japan and all our supporters in the Japanese audience. Thank you for supporting us through another season. We always appreciate you guys tuning in every episode. So before we can speculate about all that's going to go down at Capcom Cup for this final season of Street Fighter V, we of course have to welcome our Europe East champion into the championship circle. We're talking about Mirkin, who has dominated Europe East for this entire season. I feel comfortable saying that because this player here is #1 in World Warrior for the Europe East region, having taken 3 out of the 5 events with first place. That said, this opens up the floodgates here for someone else to qualify through the World Warrior program, as Mirkin has punched his ticket. He was the favorite of the World Warrior, favorite in the CPT. He's got the job done. He'll be going to Capcom Cup, but I'm interested to see who will qualify through that World Warrior regional finals. But that's a speculation right there. And you know what? We're going to do a lot of that right now, because we're looking forward to Capcom Cup this year,
yes,
and there are so many storylines, so many players trying to make their mark on the scene in this potentially final Capcom Cup for Street Fighter V. So let's go ahead and break it down. Rob, what's the big story you're looking into, or at least one of them going into this Capcom Cup?
Man, first and foremost, I got to make sure we shout out everyone who is currently qualified for Capcom Cup up to this point. Right now, we have Samurai, the West Coast very own, the 4 Fields, Mr. Crimson, Just a Kid, Momoshi, Dookie, Brandon, Mina RD, Kawano, Travis Styles, Soul VNG, Jobby M, shout out South Africa, Ronaldinho, Phenom, Takamura, Angry Bird, NL, and as you just said, Brian, we have Mirkin. It makes me smile and just cheese ear to ear just hearing all of those names and knowing that they're going to be competing with each other. The first and maybe most important thing that we can focus on when it comes to this Capcom Cup is the fact that this is the first worldwide cup of all time ever. Like, before we had Cup where, of course, it was open to everyone, but of course there's travel restrictions. It's difficult. Not everyone could get out to these tournaments. Now it's a guarantee that people from all around the world representing their region, their countries, their culture is all going to come to one place and fight it out to try to win Capcom Cup.
I'm really looking forward to these kind of regional matchups, because like you said, it's regions that didn't really have the same access or opportunity to these events, the CPT events we had in the past, which, you know, it's kind of like a chicken or egg, like, oh, were they not qualifying because they didn't have the events, or the players aren't skilled enough? I think this is going to eliminate all those conversations. Every region sends their best representative, and there's going to be people from all over the world heavily invested in the outcomes of these matches.
Oh, man.
South Africa versus Brazil. You know what I mean? We have USA versus Norway. You know, it's going to be so much more involved. I feel like there's so much more pride on the line. It's like the World Cup, like the Olympics. It's going to be really, every match is going to be intense, because no matter what, if it's a group stage, if it's an elimination match, they're carrying the backs of their entire country. Every single match. No lame duck matches this Capcom Cup.
We haven't had a Capcom Cup at all since 2019, man.
Oh, like the pressure is building.
They kept on being canceled. And, you know, Brian, something that you brought up earlier on with us going to like the online era of Street Fighter V and of, I guess, fighting games in general, was that whole dogs on a leash thing, man. And I think that even though now we've had events, we've had Street Fighter leagues, and UFA just passed, stuff like that, this is the big one, just like Evo.
Yes.
Like it's like Evo, but this is Capcom Cup 250K on the line. This is where it all comes to a head. Like, when's the last time we had that type of energy? Like when we were sitting there watching Adam versus Kawano at Evo. The whole crowd into it. We damn near about to pass out. This is gonna be that right there. So I know that we gave a lot of love and we shouted out these regions that are underrepresented, but another big storyline is the big regions that are well known for Street Fighter, that have had the limelight and duking it out for who's the best, with Japan, with the North America, with Europe, because and I would even specifically shout out France, even though that's a part of Europe. They need their own specific.
I think they're marketing their own kind of territory here, unique from Europe as a whole. France has been on fire lately.
Does USA still win Capcom Cup this year?
That's a big question, right? And, it depends on how we frame it too. As a fellow member of the United States of America, we tend to take credit whenever we can.
Yes. So 100%. I'm just talking about Cup. I'm not saying that me who's the best. I'm just saying, there's an American flag get raised at the end. We
like to frame things uniquely, right? Because NA has taken the vast majority of Capcom Cups, right? We got Knuckle Doo, we got Mena R&D, then we had an off year and Gachikun, did his thing for Japan. Then Idom brought it back to NA,
Wow.
Okay. My personal pride is USA versus NA, but the cup has come home to NA 3 out of the 4 times. Will that continue in this season? So there's a bit of regional pride there, but I think really what it boils down to at the end of the day, it's the players, it's their individual legacy.
Man. Yes, it is.
We have not had a repeat Capcom Cup champion ever for Street Fighter V, and for Street Fighter 4 as well. If I'm looking back at it, there's been no repeats, right? This is not something that has been achieved. To me, this counts.
If Momoshi wins this Capcom Cup, it counts as a 2-time. Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's 2 different titles for me. 2014
Capcom Cup champion in Street Fighter 4, and then went on to win Evo 2015 right after. He didn't get the Capcom Cup in 2015, which would have cemented him like greatest run of Street Fighter history of all time, in my opinion. But he had one of the best, easy. But yeah, that would be a 2-time champ right there. That is great, but I think for Street Fighter 5 GOAT, I'm definitely looking at these players. Mena, Gachikun, Knuckle Doo, and Idom. And speaking of, Knuckle Doo and Idom are not in Capcom Cup as of right now. They're not in.
Oh, terrifying. Of course, we just saw Idom almost win Evo as well. He ended up finishing 2nd place, but that's another thing we got to bring up, Brian. No one has won Evo and Cup in Street Fighter V. So even if you, outside of just 2 cups, the players that have a chance right now with that, and right now Tokido has that chance. Kawano, who has been absolutely absurd with his play. Problem X, he didn't win the CPT event, but he is in the top 8 for that World Warrior program. He could qualify. I can't wait. I hope him and Enden Walker play in grand finals. I can't call that. I can't call that one at all right there. And the last person who had a chance to win Evo and Capcom Cup this year, I guess he still technically has a chance, is Bonchan, one of the 4 Japanese fighting game gods. Surprisingly, he didn't even qualify for the top 8 of the World Warrior program over there. He entered every event and is only sitting in 26th place there. So he's gonna have to take his best shot at LCQ.
Yes, he is. He is registered for the LCQ, so that brings up a whole other can of worms here. We're still looking for who's going to qualify from these regional finals, so we still have more than half the competitive field who has not qualified. We can make some predictions about who's in the top 8. Currently, most of the regions at this point are closed out. There's a few with a few more events, but we can kind of make some educated guesses about who's going to qualify. But for the rest of the world, there is still the LCQ, and the LCQ at Capcom Cup always delivers the hype. There's something about that coming in last second and just putting it all on the line and qualifying and potentially making the run of a lifetime to get in the Capcom Cup at the very last second by the skin of your teeth. I mean, the most legendary run I always got to bring up, Nemo at Capcom Cup 2017 LCQ.
Didn't y'all play each other?
I was so close to beating him. I had a pretty good run that year.
I remember that. Yeah,
I got third, losing to Nemo that year. I was actually up 2-1 in a round. I was on match point against him, but he did his thing. And in fact, he went on from that to beat Punk round 1 of Capcom Cup on his
That's when they changed that rule
on his most dominant year, and he got like third. I think he finished third in Capcom Cup 2017, starting from the LCQ. So these people in the LCQ, you think, oh, you know, it's a consistent players who qualified throughout the year when they had their shot. LCQ, they'll get in, but you know they won't do any damage. No, they can do some damage. So
the winner of the LCQ will be one of the favorites in the tournament.
They're hot. They're hot. Whoever has to play the LCQ winner, it's always like, oh my god, like you know,
and
they're
just coming off
now. Just such a high of a win.
The format back then, it was like, okay, you had all year, everyone could enter any tournament, and these people didn't qualify. So whereas now, let's say you live in Japan, man, like you just there's only 2 spots available there. And if you didn't happen to qualify for one of those, but you still can be one of the top 10 players on planet Earth, but you didn't qualify over there, and now here you are in the LCQ. You know,
once
like
again,
Daigo, for example.
Perspective, yeah, I was about to bring that up. For perspective, I just always have to glance at the rankings for the Japan World Warrior because it's so ridiculous. Daigo, like you mentioned, is 13th currently in the World Warrior. That could change. There's still one more event that they have. He could get those 50 points and jump up in the rankings, but it's so competitive. Fudo is 10th, right? These are people who have won majors, won Evos. Mongo is 11th.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous, right? So any one of these players can come through with the LCQ and claim that final spot. So we know it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going over 2 days. We're going to have these matches streamed, so we get to see the action at home. So you're not going to miss out on all the heartbreak and then the dreams being made. It's where the drama is, right? Like that's why it's so beautiful. There's so much drama in that LCQ, and I feel like that really encapsulates like what we love about fighting games and competition, all as the pre-show before the show.
Okay, look. So I want to make sure we bring up some like specific individual storylines.
Okay.
Phenom. If Phenom wins Cup, that's huge because I feel like as amazing as Phenom is, like we say, it seems like he drops a quiet 50 points per game or something like that. Like he's cooking, but maybe he doesn't get the full credit from the general public that he does, or his name doesn't come up as much as it should in certain conversations. That's huge. If Adam wins Cup, that means that he will have won Cup back to back. To me, he will have entered a GOAT conversation.
Yes. In
general, a fighting game, he's entering a very winning Capcom Cup back to back is that big of a deal to me. Especially after years past too, you are in a GOAT conversation.
They've had time to study the footage.
Punk is another one, man. Now, Punk is the current, him or Tokido is the current Street Fighter V GOAT.
And also, but the thing is, Punk's legacy is not cemented by having the big peak win. It's the fact that he's had so many huge wins on prestigious, huge international premier tournaments all over the world. You cannot dispute his legacy in that regard. But
he doesn't need Capcom Cup he doesn't need to win this to solidify his legacy.
Yeah, he's one of the best of all time in Street Fighter V. But I think that, like, if you're talking about GOAT status, I think he needs a run at Capcom Cup. I think it depends on who wins. If he doesn't win, it's going to depend on if it's like a newcomer getting first and him getting second. Because I think he needs something at this point in the later era of Street Fighter V to tip the scales. And people want to, we've given Punk a lot of respect over the course of the show and over the years of like go to Street Fighter V. I think at this point, people are prepared to take that title away in the end game here. I think people like Kawano, people like Idom. Yeah. You know, Phenom, there's a few other people, they're chomping at his heels right now. Like, you've done a lot over the years. No one can dispute that. Most winningest player of all time in Street Fighter V. However, the GOAT title, I think it's time to take the big one, right? Like,
yeah. Which would be that much more impressive if he wins. The fact that so many people are right there right now, you know, but like you said, that's the only thing you could possibly say about him. So him getting that win right there will be otherworldly.
I think it would be beautiful.
And you know he'd be up there crying and everything too.
Oh my God, it would be beautiful.
You know that would be super dope. And especially after just seeing the whole how he's clapping up for Ender Walker and all that. Oh, yeah. That's another one. Now that boy right now is on fire, Brian. If we get a 16-year-old Capcom Cup champion, that will be like the coolest story of all time.
We're speculating, but now we're speculating. So
we're really speculating that because he's not even qualified right now.
We're pivoting to the people who haven't even qualified through the World Warrior.
Okay, what about Mena
events
for now
right
then? What about Mena then? Because he's qualified. What does a win for him mean?
I think Mena has, of all the previous Capcom Cup champions, I feel like to the public eye, Mena has the most to prove to the public. Not that I feel like he should, but I feel like his win was the most disputed because he was such a newcomer to the average viewer, the people who only tune in to the Evos or a couple of Premier Grand Finals top eights. People said there's no way this birdie player from the Dominican Republic is going to beat this player. There's no way he's going to beat this player, right? As he kept going, every single match he said, Mena, there's no way he's going to beat X, Y, or Z. And he just kept beating them back to back to back and got the job done. And I feel like people still, to this day, don't quite respect him at that same degree just because of lack of exposure, I feel like. If he wins Capcom Cup or even just makes like a top 3 finish, I feel like that shuts up a lot of doubters, a lot of haters. You know what I mean? I feel like he has a lot to gain in terms of legacy from that. And obviously, we already said it. If anyone wins 2, that's it. There's no debate. There's no debate. But I think if he makes a really good run, he has a lot to gain to jump the most positions in terms of like ranking the best of all time for Street Fighter V.
He's a perfect scene ambassador. You see what he did for DR and everything. And the last person I got to bring up, I got no choice. I got to just put this in there. My boy, Just a Kid. Anyone like Just a Kid, Ender Walker, any of these players, Jobby M, any of them who would not be catapulted to like a GOAT conversation, the momentum going into Street Fighter VI would be insane. Like, think about the business side of this, Brian. Definitely. You win Capcom Cup, hypothetically the last Capcom Cup of Street Fighter V. You are about to make so much money outside of just that 250K.
There's a lot of momentum going to the next generation of Street Fighter. It's definitely a big win. The thing about this Capcom Cup to me is because the players like have not interacted in many international level events, I feel like there's so much room for upset. Like, I don't feel comfortable besides a handful of players making a call that they'll go very far, right? I feel like the people like Idom, Kawano, and one we haven't talked about yet, Angry Bird, I feel like there's a Phenom. There's a few players who I feel comfortable calling they're going to go far. In between that, I feel like there's so much room for upset. I feel like another player that might cause a lot of upsets, Travis Styles, Chad Balrog coming out here, just not caring, dash straightening away, just throwing some taps here and there. I can definitely see a person like Travis Styles just causing a few upsets, ruining a few weekends, and going pretty far in an event. Like, it's really hard to call who is going to actually take it. I think there's a lot of dark horses in this event, so I think that's going to make it more exciting to watch. You can pick your favorite, get some Bison Bucks out there.
Another dark horse, or a light horse, ivory horse. My boy, Big Bri. I know that World Warrior final coming up, my boy.
We'll see. Ivory horse, that's a wild one.
Ivory horse is OD. Bro,
we'll see about that.
Anyone who qualifies from the Midwest World Warrior, I'm hyped. I ain't gonna lie. And Brian, if you end up getting in there, then I really do like your chances to
I appreciate that. But to me, with Capcom Cup, I'm hyped with whoever wins, honestly. I think if anyone who finds success in a moment where they haven't had it, or in an area where they haven't had it in the past, it gets me emotional every time. I cried my eyes out practically when Idom won Capcom Cup.
Yeah.
Like it was my own son, I was like, wow, he did it. There's something about the magnitude of it and just achieving a dream that feels impossible. At the end of the day, we're playing video games here, and to see the world getting behind something and being so passionate about it, and it matters because we care. Right? And we all care so much about it and put so much passion, put so much time. We're also driven to support this dream. To see anyone achieve that goal and to make it a reality is just always a very emotional moment for me. So I think regardless, I'm going to be tearing up whether I'm up there or someone else is up there. It's going to be a beautiful moment, not just for that player, but I think for the scene as a whole and for all fans of Street Fighter around the world.
CPT North America East. When I tell you that any serious Street Fighter fan has had this date circled on their calendar from day one of CPT, I mean it. Even if it's mentally having it checked off on your calendar. This is the most exhilarating event that we've had, in my opinion, since CPT Japan. There's so much on the line. Knuckle Dude is not even qualified. He tried at the end, he's not qualified. So right now, you know, we could just start right there. He has to win this to get in the Capcom Cup. A lot of these other guys, they do have, well, not a lot of them, I'm sorry, only 8 of them have World Warrior. I was gonna say a lot. I'm tripping.
Right. There is a little bit of a contingency plan for a couple of these players here, and that's why this is so big, right? So the World Warrior events for the NA East have wrapped up. So we have our final 8 competitors for the NA East regional final, right? We have Kudo, Ultimate Weapon, Punk, IDOM, NYC Furby, Spaceboy, Myelin, and Deadeye Artists, who are going to be making up that World Warrior finals. Meaning everybody not who I just named needs to win right now today to qualify. And that's so big because, like you mentioned, there's players like Knuckle Dude, he started like 5 laps behind everybody this season and has been slowly gaining ground. You know, he didn't get into the with the pack and catch up with in time for the World Warrior. But I feel like for this CPT right now, he's finally not lapped anymore. He's in the running. He's in the race. He might be behind in the race, behind the pack right now, but he has momentum on his side. So it's really wild to see because we also have IDOM, we have Punk, and we have people like Art and I think Spaceboy, who's been causing a lot of upsets.
Deadeye Artists, Ultimate.
We have 3 big favorites, the IDOM, Punk, Knuckle Dude, who are all fighting for 2 spots. Knuckle Dude has to get it done now. And then there's so many people who have proven to be able to upset these players in these brackets that I feel like if you have not watched a recent CPT event, this is the one to watch. Like, this is the one you need to tune into.
What if we got
there's
Punk,
so much drama.
What if we got Punk freaking Knuckle Dude Grand Finals, bro?
Oh my goodness.
Like, imagine that. I feel like we haven't seen, I would feel like I was like 5 years younger or something like that. Like, I remember seeing them play that, like, back to NEC and stuff like that back in the day, bro. Like, that.
How many teabags are we gonna see? You know, like, I feel like these two have been going back and forth so much, and you know, there was a while when Knuckle Dude was actually getting the better of Punk, and then it felt like towards like later 2019, he beat Do with his own character, and I think, you know, Knuckle Dude's got to remember that.
But I want to make sure we also bring up, it's not just Do, even though I think that's the main story as far as the non-qualified players, but let me just list some of these non-qualified players that they have. Knuckle Dude, X Finesse, Booker, which is Tampa Bison, DR Mandrake, Metro M finished in 9th place, bro. Hoji, Shine, No Need to Talk, Dance Lip, Child 233, Kami, Tega, Zaffarino, iDrop, and of course the mayor of Duff City, Smug. All of those players don't even have a chance in World Warrior. They did not finish in top 8. So that just goes to show just the, like, how deep, how important this is right now. Shine, bro, Shine. This is pissing me off just thinking about it. It is time. You better finish at least top 3 or I'm mad. At least. And honestly, forget top 3. Go get your dub, man. You know what I mean? I feel like Shine has been so good for so long. So strong. And it would just be, oh my gosh, that would be such an amazing Cinderella story for him to finish things off, getting a W at CPT. Honestly, since this comes before the World Warrior program, low-key, it makes me want like Knuckle Dude or want any of these non-World Warrior players to qualify. Because that makes it's really not fair that we get these 2 shows back to back.
It's a little different. The vibe's a little different, but I think there is a chance for someone not qualified. I do think we should highlight some of the players here, because I think one person that no one's looking at would be a player like X Finesse. I think X Finesse has had such a come up on the down low in this region in the past year or so. I don't think he's been shown up into as many tournaments, but his ed is, I've been playing with him, it's so strong. I think he has been improving a lot. So I think he might cause some upsets with your favorite players in this event. I could see someone like him going very far and, continuing the reign of Ed dominance in this final stretch of Street Fighter V. But is there anyone else you're looking at here who might cause some big upsets?
My dark horse for this, or at least one of them I'll call out, is Metro M. Finished 9th place in the World Warrior. So he just was 1 spot outside of qualifying right there. But that goes to show that he is playing very strong. He's consistently gotten stronger and stronger throughout Street Fighter V, especially over this last, I would say, 2 years, like the whole online NLBC era. Metro M definitely has a strong chance.
Well, how about this? Let's get rid of the World Warrior bias here. Let's have all the players in it, because, you know, people are trying to double dip for sure. They want both their shots to qualify. So Who is your favorite to take it? We're just going to make some speculation here. I'll go first because I think we forgot to talk about the current king of the East. I'm talking about
man.
Kudo is actually
He's
been dominating.
Place, right?
He's in first place of the World Warrior program. He's had plenty of grand final sets, taking tournaments over both Idom and Punk. Have they gotten sets back? Yes. Actually, he has a pretty favorable record over Punk both online and offline at this moment in time, right? He had tournament wins in top 8 of CEO and at East Coast Throwdown, right? They actually exchanged sets there, but Kudo's the one who eliminated him. Idom ended up taking the tournament over Kudo. So we're seeing like these players are obviously like trading sets here and they're all competing for this top position. But Kudo, #1 World Warrior by a thin margin. It's not a super dominant, but he does have a first place finish there. Sets over Idom and Punk. I'm going to go with Kudo, actually. I'm going to say, we got to put some respect in the guy's name. He's shown up here in the East Coast and he's been doing work and showing that he's no fluke. He's consistent. So I'll go ahead and peg Kudo as the one who's going to take this one.
Brian, as amazing as Kudo is, Idom has not shown me anything to suggest that he will not win this event. I feel like the big roadblock in his way, outside of course, the amazing player in Punk the God, of course, Kudo, who has been absolutely on fire. Idom has to deal with Knuckle Dudang, who just has not been around for a long time. And when he was, him and Idom were going to war in those NLBCs, the Poison versus Gao, or the G and Laura, and all of these matchups. We don't know what character matchup that dude would bring to him. I do think that's a threat, but Idom is definitely the favorite here, and he has shown time and time again that he is a supercomputer. Even as far as him not being a #1 in the World Warrior event, I will point out that I don't think that Idom has signed up for all of the World Warrior events.
He had some prior obligations for a couple of these events, so that's why I wasn't harping too much on these results.
And
like
I seen him play
including
G.
Punk.
I saw him play G. Yeah, Punk as well. I don't think he's played all of them.
And his G is actually pretty good. Like, he's taking sets over these people we're talking about with G. So, you know what? To be honest, like, in my heart of hearts, I say Idom as well. I just knew you were going to go Idom, so I had to put some respect on Kudo to have.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I think we would have landed on the same opinion. I want to have some contrasting a point of view, but I still think Kudo could make the upset.
He can.
At the end of the day, honestly, I do agree that Idom is statistically the favorite. However, I want to see the definition of clutch. I would love to see it. Punk has known to turn up in these moments. He definitely could do it. He likes to play with the chip on his shoulder. We're counting him out right here. That might be the motivation he needs to get the job done on the day. Who knows? Knuckle Dude might make the come from behind victory here and catch up with the competition and surpass them. So any way you slice it, there's a lot of ways this can go down. All I know is it's going to be a banger. It's going to be dramatic, and dreams will be made and crush the CPT event.
Brian, you talk about dreams being crushed. And there's something that my dad tells me, man. He says that, son, there needs to be losers. Some people gonna have to lose for others to win. And as harsh of a reality as that is, it definitely is applicable when it comes to CPT NA East. 8 people's dreams are about to be crushed live in effect right here in front of us on this stream. Who is going to go home and who is going to qualify for finals day? We're about to find out. I'll tell you what, I'm glad that we get to see it from the safety of our own homes, peeking out the blinds, because I would not want to be a part of this purge, of this bloodbath. We have for you dreams on the line, CPT NA East top 16.
Hadouken! Round 1. Fight! No escape! Shin! Just stay now! Let's go! Double somersault!
Such a lovely face.
Shinu Rippa!
Oh, yeah! Perfect!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. 1,000 welcomes to all the Street Fighter V fans out there. My name is Vicious, here with James Chen for one of the biggest qualifying matches for the Capcom Cup. That's right, this is the CPT NA East, and of course, I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this journey with everybody alongside that has been tuning in from the entire year that I've been going through each and every weekend. First and foremost, I thank you, and again, welcome for everything that's been going on. You guys have been really showing your true support, and we do appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts. James, we have ourselves a bracket, and Jeremy, I do mean that in the utmost sense. This is the bracket.
Jeremy, before we get there, this is the last CPT of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe for Street Fighter V. I don't know, but
he's gonna cry before I am. I'm calling it right now.
Right?
I'm calling it right now.
This is it. It's coming down to NA East, and like you said, this bracket, I mean, look, if anybody had their fantasy bracket filled out, you are wrong.
yeah, that's true.
It's just what it is. I mean, look, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I came in here all ready to talk about Kudo, like Brian F. and Rob did, and sure enough, you heard them talk about it. If you haven't seen the bracket already, Kudo is out of the tournament. Did not make top 16, and not only that, but players that you would expect to see on winner side, Punk, Smug, NYC Furby,
everybody is here, but not everybody is in top 16. Anybody in the fighting game community needs to pay attention to what's about to happen. Before we get into that, we do have to mention the prize, right? There's a very big prize at the end of all this. Not only is it a ticket to Capcom Cup, but $5K in the pockets of these players. Pretty good for entering for free and at the comfort of your own home. Divvied up with the top 4. You see it right there. $5,000. And hey, just in case you don't make it to Capcom Cup, well, I'll tell you what, you could fund yourself if you're in top 4 to make it to LA and,
go for that
LCQ. That's right.
But I got to tell you right now, none of these players in this bracket right now are at home and feeling comfortable.
Oh, no, not even if they were roommates, right? That's just a little bit of a spoiler, too, right? When we talk about the region as a whole, right? I feel like North America East have been the players to look for in regards to the realm of Street Fighter of NA, right? And we are West Coast, right? We are West Coast through and through, but we obviously tip our hats to these individual players themselves because they have been, I feel like, the most dominant force in Street Fighter V for such a long time.
And you know what? You look at some of these names and, for the general public, you're not going to be as familiar with some of these names, but look at that World Warrior list that we had, right? A lot of these players that you see here, Ultimate Weapon here, Space Boy, Deadeye Artist, these guys, Mylin as well, as we'll see in the losers bracket, these were other players who have been playing and consistently finishing. They're in the running for that World Warrior. They have been putting in the work, and that is why we see them here on the winner's side of the bracket.
Let's give them their proper introductions, right? Zonk versus Deadeye Artist. That's going to be Zonk hailing from North Carolina. Deadeye from New Jersey. That's going to be a Cody versus Jury match, which has been showing up a lot as of recently, which is something you wouldn't have expected. Idom versus Kami. That is going to be a barn burner for sure. Idom hailing from NYC, of course. Kami also from Brooklyn. This is going to be very, very difficult to watch because both are very, very talented players. But as Rob's dad said, technically there has to be losers in this world. Laura versus Luke is what you could expect. Maybe off of Poison. Who knows? Ultimate Weapon as Balrog coming in from Philly. Shine from NYC. Cody and Ibuki. We'll see pretty much how that plays out. But Lil Evil versus Space Boy. Lil Evil is still having the run of his life right now, by the way. His transition to Luke has been a flawless one. Space Boy also making rounds with his Luke as well. If the Sakurai needs to come out for this mirror match, it might just be the one. But let's see who else is in the loser's side. Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, we're starting here with Knuckle-Doo, okay? Look, we looked at his list of characters that he can play. I just wrote down anyone.
He put down a bunch of characters that he could possibly play. I literally just put Gal Armika. I'm like, you're not fooling me, dude. You're not fooling me.
There's Itachi's Legacy here with the Ibuki or the Blanca, but I mean, two not very common characters that we've been seeing a lot in tournaments recently, although we just saw Blanca do some damage with Nishikin at the World Warrior in Japan.
And that is insane damage. We'll talk about that too. Oh my God.
Mylin, with the Laura or the Poison, and Smug, of course, going to bring probably the G or the Boxer. And then,
and then as soon as you see this bracket,
I can't even read this match. NYC Furby, aka Arturo, going up against Punk the God. And look, you know what? Just for Arturo, I'm going to say, seeing this matchup, it hurts a lot, okay? It
For
like
sure it does.
240 hurts a lot, okay?
Oh, God.
So, and then of course at the very bottom right there is Jip the Boss and One Way to God Jesus going up against each other. That's going to be either, I mean, Jip the Boss has Alex, Falk, or Fang listed here.
Yeah, but he's been in Alex main for a while too. He's been showing the way with Alex on stream, even on Twitter. But One Way to God Jesus, I haven't really seen too much of him from the Balrog or the G, but I'm very curious because he's also had a pretty interesting run. We'll get to that when we get there. But this is your loser side, ladies and gentlemen.
Loser side. This is
could
the
have
loser
been
side.
This could have been the winner side.
Yeah.
For all we know, if we just kind of took away that top part of the header, you wouldn't have known this was a loser side bracket. But
And you know what the crazy thing too is, you remember during No Neutral, Rob, I think it was Rob who was saying like, I would love to see a Knuckle Do Punk Grand Finals. Can't even happen.
Oh,
not
that's
even
right.
happen. Impossible right now.
No.
It is literally impossible because neither of them are starting on the winner's side.
Yeah.
So
if it was a totally different story from winners and losers, it would be an impasse. But more so, this probability obviously doesn't exist. It's actually really, really rough to even see this as a bracket. But that's just how life goes, man. I mean, one of these players, they still have a shot, or actually a handful of these players. All the people that we were talking about earlier from the World Warrior Project for the NA East, again, that top 8 also happens to be in top 16. So those individuals have 2 chances.
Right.
2 chances. Who beat Kudo? Asks Zeta Xander. Well, let's get into that right now. Our first matchup of the day is actually going to be Zonk versus Deadeye. You are looking at the man who had eliminated or actually put Zonk into losers for his round 1 match. This
you
was
mean
Zonk.
Kudo, right?
Oh, sorry,
Kudo and
sorry,
losers.
that put
Yeah,
Zonk that put
yeah.
Kudo into losers. My mistake. Sorry, Zonk is the one that put Kudo into losers bracket off of Kudo's first round match. Ladies and gentlemen, he beat him 2-1.
That's so crazy, and you got to imagine if you're Kudo, that probably shook him right away. First match going to losers, and
Oh, yeah.
feeling a lot more of that pressure. Now, obviously, he is in first place for World Warrior, so he's got a good chance there. But Zonk here is the man of the hour currently. And then there's Deadeye Artist, of course, going with that jury as well. And I believe we have the...
He actually put Knuckle Do into losers, by the
Oh.
way. Deadeye Artist is the one that put Knuckle Do into losers 2-1. Just let you guys know, some of the favorites taken down and replaced by the new favorites. And you're going to see exactly why. Let's take a look. Now you may do so. Zonk's
quote. Let's see what he has to say. It's crazy how I told my opponent the other day that we could meet in top 16. And sure enough, here we are. Good luck to you, Cal, and may the best man win.
That's what I'm talking about. That is
okay.
the sickest. Actually, the sickest. When you make it happen, when you put that energy out there into the universe, you're like, yo, man, we're definitely hitting this top 16. Let's go. It just so happens you have to face him off in your first round of top 16. That's just how it works,
but that's
man.
what they said. There's a chance we could meet in top 16.
He should have said in
and a
top
half.
8.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Should've
I
said in
mean, the
top
bracket.
8.
I mean, the brackets, the way they fall, if they keep winning, they would have run in top 16.
I thought you were going to hit me with like a Kevin Hart joke. It's like the way my bank account works is the way the top 16 works is that you don't get to meet up too often because there's so many killers in this bracket.
Yeah,
So.
well, that's true too, as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is again, this NA East is the region, and it's the region that has been producing champions after champions after champions. Like you said, even as West Coast players here, there's no denying the strength of this region. This is the strongest region in the. You remember the whole West Coast versus Midwest rivalry? You know, I mean, it's that whole meme where they're fighting, and
It's
then
not a meme anymore.
Yeah,
It's
NA
real
East
life.
is sitting there on the side, just like having
Watching
fun
the
here.
fight. Yeah,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
They're like throwing popcorn
Yeah.
at Midwest, and the West Coast are like, fight.
And yeah, we're going to see Cody versus Jury, 2 characters who have really shot up the charts in terms
Yes.
of just absolute tournament placing and tournament appearances here.
Absolutely.
And here we go, starting off right away. Zonk Muscle not getting the anti-air to start off.
A little bit tough to be honest with you. I mean, like that standing heavy punch is a little bit of a longer normal than you could throw out for an anti-air. Most people kind of rely on V-Skill 1, but that's not really been the shakedown for Cody. I think Skill 2 has been the way better option for the Sway in regards to what you can do against certain projectiles, or even extending your combo is the main usage, right?
Yeah, and both of these characters here with two of arguably the best standing medium kicks in the game right now.
Yeah.
Gonna be going up against each other here. But look at this. Zonk not being scared, checking immediately with the buttons after the block.
Do you see how reluctant Deadeye Artist is to move? Oh my god, and the one he was looking for, he was waiting for that forever. A back throw will do it.
Oh, and a check this time from Deadeye Artist. And he didn't activate the V trigger yet. He's gonna hold on to that V trigger. Oh,
Yeah,
got
you
him.
can charge that.
Here we go. There's the activation now.
But it's Feng Shui engine. You have to land a hit for it to be effective, really.
Yep.
You could get a block string going, but then what else?
Well, he's actually choosing to. I mean, he spent it all
On
just
Fireball.
chilling in the back. Yeah. What? He just did it. That is definitely punishable, but he just caught Zonk walking forward.
I don't think there was any sort of punish. I didn't see any sort of animation from the side of Zonk outside of walk, so
Yeah.
you know, that's just how it is. That's definitely a personal call out. It's like, I know this
Yeah.
person. He's definitely gonna run into this.
I mean, Deadeye, aim right. I mean, seriously, nice shot right there.
Crouching, get the target combo extension, and side switch after with the V skill 1. Good awareness on the crouching opponent. Good call. I like that. Also, the punish on the roundhouse up close. You are -4.
All right, just poking away right now. And look at all that gray health that built up from all these medium kicks and heavy kicks. And there it is, that medium punch draining so much health. Oof. But here we go, Feng Shui engine active. And oh, I don't think that's what he meant to do. That jump backward.
my
But he has an
God.
opportunity. Actually just frame traps him.
You could get a confirm into critical art. That'll kill.
Yeah.
If you could whiff punish something into critical art, you actually take it away.
That's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for.
We're going to see a trigger activation first from Zonk. He attempted it with the hammer.
There it is, the sweep into activate. Tried to go for shimmy, but
No.
touched the button after the light kick. Just block the light kick, try to hit a button to take your turn, but it was a frame trap into the EX Zonk, and we're 1-1. And don't forget, we're starting off here 2 out of 3.
Yeah, these guys are definitely dueling it out as appropriately named in the Street Fighter Duel Arena. Again, this has been so close already, and it's only been the first game thus far.
Oh, no free charges for you. And here we go, goes for the throw. Nice tech from Deadeye Artist. But Deadeye Artist has been finding himself in the corner
Oh, my
quite
Lord.
often.
Dash up. Foreign throw tech. Hold that, +3. Man, he still pressed the button after +3. Oh, my Lord.
Sometimes you gotta do it because people are trying to steal turns
You know-
all over the place, man. It's what you gotta do. Ooh.
I've been hearing, frame data is a social construct, you know? Or what you do after knowing frame data is a social construct.
Frame data, look, we'll just put it this way. Frame data tells you what is supposed to happen. That never is what actually happens.
It's what you can and cannot do after a set action. Well, guess what? If your heart believes in it and you make it happen, who's to tell you you're wrong, right?
You know, I mean, basically, it's like the you know, like if you get rear-ended by a car, it's always the person in the back's fault, right? So it's like, it's just to tell you who can sue
Sure.
who, basically.
Sure.
That's all what the frame
I
data
don't know
is.
about that. I'm going to have to talk to David about that one, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, man. All right, but here we go. This corner position again, the crush counter. And so Zonk here, taking that first game, has this position here, just pressing away with all these plus frames. We got the activation and V-shift out of there. Doesn't want to deal with the mix-up.
Oh, that could have been huge. A little bit too far for that standing medium kick afterwards, but although in Feng Shui, yeah, there we go. You get one hit. It leads to a good amount of damage.
Yep, and that corner push, especially on that non-quick rise, he saw that and just pushed him a little bit. The empty jump, too far away. He went for the up instead of the straight. Oh, and then he busts out with the EXDP, gets the cross up, goes for the tick throw.
A lot of airborne activity. Does get the frame trap, and more than enough. If you spend that cash on the EX, you're definitely getting that extra damage on the extension. Good call from Deadeye Artist. Trying to get that game back, at least to tie it up against Zonk. But we have 2 EX bars down below. This could be very dangerous territory. One Zonk is all that's necessary. The ruffian.
That
I
was
don't know
an
about that.
execution error. He micro crouch, walked forward, and tried to kick, and came out with the ruffian kick by accident.
And you see the attempt, right? You see the attempt
Yeah.
on the anti-air. That was standing heavy punch, just a little bit too slow.
Yeah, and a little bit too close, so it just couldn't hit above his head well enough. Oh, again, that
Ay, ay,
crush.
ay. Oh, you're hella
boy.
damaged right there. Look at the amount of
Yeah.
damage. Oh, give me that sway and more ruffians.
And here we go, knife time, but nope, just gonna bust out. I don't care about your frame traps. I don't care about your plus frames or your bad spray.
Watch out for the throw. And I love that. Yeah, that medium kick kind of creates space, false sense of security, but the tech was still there.
Oh, here we go.
Sat down. No, he doesn't have the reload. He doesn't get it after that. Stand jab, taking it all away. Yo, dead eye, knowing full well what to do after that hits.
Well, you heard in Zonk Knuckles' quote, these two are good friends here. They play each other a lot, it sounds like.
They know each other on a first name basis, at least.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? So, I imagine these two probably play each other quite often, so they know each other pretty well. And that's why you do see a lot of these button disrespects, right? Because they just kind of know the pattern of what the other one wants to do when they want to steal those turns.
Yeah, I would have thought, after the knife shakedown towards the end, I thought you would have at least, a couple of extra frames to walk up or at least, get something going as a meaty. But dash, I don't know. Dash from Cody? Might be a little questionable.
There's that medium kick again from Jury. It reaches so far. It's just 2 hits, and so it has more active frames than most standing medium kicks. So it hits quick and late.
Quick and late. That's actually going to run. Oh, he's crouching. Yeah, he can still get the target combo from that far.
Backs away, back dashes, and now this is a big change. Like I said earlier, we used to see Zonk just putting Deadeye Artist into the corner for a lot of time, but this time Deadeye Artist with the full offense.
Oh, we were just looking for it. A way to activate and to trigger.
We saw Momochi take someone from full life to dead on knife activation, so we know that this is not over by any stretch.
And that was off of a crouch short, by the way.
Yeah.
The way that Momochi did it, actually insane.
It's like you're like, is this okay?
I don't know, man. I had to check my own sanity after that one.
Yeah.
Like, he did what now? Like,
Not fast enough. I like the V shift. Doesn't deal with the mix-up pressure.
Oh,
and
the
there
whip
it-
punish.
See, quick and late. I'm telling you, man, it hits quick and late, and that is what makes it so good. Having that many active frames in one of your best ground pokes is a huge blessing.
I'm going to need that framed on my wall quick and late, ladies and gentlemen. Deadeye looking at match point. Trying to secure his way into top 8. You only need one victory from this part of the bracket to move on. With Zonk, again, a little bit of the deficit with EX. He just built that bar up off that combo, but now it's Deadeye's time to escape the corner. Build up a little bit more of the Fuha.
Who's going to fulfill their destiny here? One defeating Kudo, the other defeating Knuckle Do. Who's going to be able to parlay that into a top 8 for tomorrow?
Yeah, man. Check on the dash. It's a little bit tricky, too.
And Deadeye Artist has just been in so much control here in game number 3. I feel like it's been almost all him, but look at all the space that he's given Zonk. He walked himself all the way back to the corner.
He did. You know what that is? It's the intimidation of the Zonk factor, right? EX Zonk will spell a different world of hurt. Get that lance charged up. You are hella plus after that. It was charged forever. Oh my God! And see, that's exactly why. If you have level 2 or maximum Zonk charged up at EX, you're +5. You're in range for that throw, no matter what. You have to make a very, very solid guess.
Yeah, I felt like Deadeye Artist had a lot of that offensive momentum, and he gave it all up because, yeah, you're right. He was very scared of that Zonk Knuckle, but he walked himself all the way into the corner.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest deterrents is for Cody, at least at that point, is standing medium kick, right? But you'd have to gamble it. You have to gamble it. I think getting rid of the Zonk early is going to be just fine for Deadeye Artist, but he's been so timid. Once he sees meter, he's waiting for it, man.
Yeah, he is he's playing defensively right now, very defensively, and he has had a lot of more success when he's gone on offense here. He missed it.
A little bit tough. Trigger is winding down. There's the anti-air.
Yeah,
very solid.
Zonk's anti-air is on point now. He hasn't let Deadeye Artist get away with the last 3 or 4 jumps.
That was so
just
good.
Interrupted it. Barely.
The sway! No, it's too slow!
Oh,
I thought it was going to be enough.
What is he was trying to go into the target combo to activate, but instead, he beats it out! And Zonk Knuckle is going to come back and take it off of that read on the EXDP. Zonk Knuckle moves on after sending Kudo to loser's bracket, making it all the way here, and then having his back against the wall for 2 rounds straight. Zonk Knuckle is the one to advance. Zonk Muscle, the one to advance over Deadeye Artist.
Well, he definitely flexed on him with all the meter that he had. There's been so many opportunities where Deadeye could have contested him in neutral, but he was just so in fear of that very move right there. And you can see exactly why, right? The amount of damage you get off of a successful Zonk Knuckle, and EX1 at that, could lead to so much. And it definitely did for the man, Zonk Muscle. As we can see here, Deadeye had some very, very pristine moments too of actually being able to duke it out in neutral, and also some really big shining moments to get some of these frame traps.
Yeah, that Zonk Knuckle, I mean, they just recently added that level to Zonk for the wall bounces and the combo after the regular one. And I swear, Shades of Fuerte, you know, late in Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Oh, God. Don't remind me. I've already had lunch. I don't want a quesadilla. No, thank you.
But yeah, such a strong move to have, and the suddenness of it, and it being +2 on block as well. It's just such a powerful tool to have for the neutral game.
Oh my gosh.
And like I said, Deadeye Artist here, match point. He was playing so well until this round here where he walked himself all the way back to the corner. He went really defensive, and then I feel like that's what turned it around.
He had so much meter going into the next round as well. Wasn't really able to utilize that. I mean, I feel like there's got to be something to be used in neutral, or at least maybe kind of deter your opponent from walking into Zonk because of or like walking with Zonk as a loaded weapon with maybe like a fireball too, an EX fireball at that, and kind of gain your pace back and force maybe like a one-shot opportunity to either go for like a tick throw or at least a frame trap with how slow that projectile really is. So I think there was a lot of moments there where Deadeye could have really thought it out and be like, all right, well, I shouldn't let this be like the end-all be-all of my game. I should not fear Zonk Knuckle as much. As great of a move as it is, there's definitely ways to deter it. So
if you let it control your game like that, that's how the opponent's going to win, right? Yeah. I mean, that's just the whole nature of fighting games in general. If you're scared of one option and it changes your game, then your opponent is doing exactly what they needed to do for that match. And we talked about the Smug and NYC Furby match in the loser side. Well, here on the winner side,
that's Punk versus NYC.
I'm sorry,
Furby,
Punk versus NYC Furby.
Yeah.
But here on the winner side, this is the match right
I'm
here.
cracking over the
This
red
is
for
the
this
match
one.
right
This is
here.
the one right here.
Coming up, Idom versus Kami is the match that's coming up here. Two players in Street Fighter League here going up against each other here. Of course, UIU going up against Xset Idom here, and Idom. Obviously, look, you know, talking about the GOAT status, you heard Rob and Brian talk about
the supercomputer.
Yeah, Idom is at that point right now where, if he can win back-to-back Capcom Cups, I mean, I don't think that there's a question at this point. His run at EVO falling short just at Koano after destroying everybody in the loser's bracket. Again, this guy is amazing, but again, Kami is one of those players who has been playing forever, and he is such a veteran of this New York scene.
Yeah, he's been going toe-to-toe with a lot of the heavy hitters, even in Street Fighter League, right? That Luke has really brought him to a lot of different spaces within this season. But even before that, his Akuma was a terror. This man understands what it takes to kind of pilot any sort of character and take him to the upper echelon. And he's been doing so consistently, I feel like, for the East Coast too. So under the tutelage of a lot of other players, like he's been within the rings of like Punk, Idom, everybody like Shine, etc. Like he's been a part of so many different teams of Street Fighter League as well. He's had that experience underneath him that it's got him to this very moment. It's just a matter of whether or not it's enough to take down someone like Idom, right? Taking a look at Idom and his current record on the way over, well, he 2-0'd everybody.
Okay,
That's
so he hasn't lost the game yet.
With Kami, he's had a significant amount of wins as well. He actually took Mylin down to losers 2-0, which has led him to this very moment in round 3. So here we go. It's top 16. We'll see if Kami has it in him to take down one of the biggest favorites we have in the East Coast, Idom.
Yeah, and of course we're going with Poison and Luke. These two of the arguably strongest characters. Right now it's Luke, Poison, and Dalsum. I feel like are pretty much the undisputed top 3 in this game right now. And Luke, that Sandblaster, again, you know, you look at the frame data of the Sandblaster, the startup is not as fast as it feels like. It's just that the animation of the startup is so subtle, it's harder to see.
Yeah, I think it's the actual fireball itself that is a speeding bullet. Like that right there, like that makes up for the lack of startup frames, right? Or sorry, not the lack of, but the excess of on startup. It's a little slow on animation, but
I mean, can you imagine if it started by him pulling his arm straight up? Like then I think people would.
If he was just like, yeah, okay. Oh boy. Enough talk about that. We do get the chase.
Okay, you see Idom trying to get a couple of jumps in here right now, and I got to imagine that Luke playing a little bit of a zoning style can be a troublesome to Poison, especially because of that Sandblaster. See how it gives Kami the ability to dash forward as well.
Ooh, V-Trigger 2, by the way.
Oh
we didn't get to highlight
yeah,
that.
you're right. Be able to grab him from a little far
That's
away.
so smart from Kami, punishing the anti-air by going in with an empty jump. Heavy impact, no go. Check the low, that could have been huge. Thermobaric afterwards, that's fine. After the EX Sandblaster, run away. Plus frames, got 9 seconds. You dirty dog. He doesn't have that anymore. Plus frames.
He's got to do something. He does
No,
shimmy him. He
James.
actually shimmied him. The decisions by Idom. He just always seems to know to get that victory at the end.
And only at the end, Kami had superb defense to the other two. There's going to be a huge punish, charging up the Flash Knuckle, EX, bring him to the corner, Rising Rocket, and look at the amount of damage he gets off the start. Kami, I think he's too far for the rest of the snapback. Watch out
Oh, look at this counter hit combo. Gonna get the throw here, puts him full screen again. Not exactly where
Punish.
you want to put Luke.
the delay. I love that from Kami. Now with the Impaler.
Corner now. Look at that meatiness on that standard medium. But Idom checking without regard for human life
Uppercut.
at all.
Oh, it's tough. Oh, what a guess, too, from
Oh,
Idom.
anti-air!
Oh,
Oh, boy. Not a counter hit, though. Not a counter hit, though. Oh, he does go for the throws. That enough? Not quite. What? You know, anti-air, and he
That's
just
fine.
punches away.
We'll definitely take that. Absolutely. Kami in risk of 2 missed anti-airs and taking the round away from him.
And that was probably going to be canceled in the super, too. He was probably just going to
He
chip
could've.
him to death,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, he could. Absolutely.
All right, so Kami tying it up 1-1. Oh, yeah, not fast enough on that dash check. Here we go, a couple of Sandblasters. Nice, close enough to get through it with the EX Love Me Tender.
We see getting into proximity. Idom is trying to catch the startup of that fireball, or at least the trade, either with the whip or crouching heavy punch. Yep, you see it right there. See the heart rate again.
Great reactions from Idom.
So smart.
Oh, got him out of the air just before he could get himself out of the corner. So he's still trapped here. And by not allowing him to walk backwards, he can't set up the Sandblaster. But here it is. Oh, the counter hit combo, Kami. That post-heart raid mix-up. I want to say Idom is so good at knowing all of the branches, and he's so good at reading his opponent and knowing which one of those to go to.
Yeah, even after a blocked standing jab, you're still opened up to so many different branches where it comes to like tick throw. You still have to wait until that moment. It's like, all right, well, I had to hold on to this plus scenario. Well, guess what? After a stand jab, you still have to do the same thing. Like, it's just, it makes it that much worse. He deliberately delayed his other normals afterwards and got the end of that.
Yeah.
Or managed to get Kami to flinch. Ooh, I will say, it's not for nothing, though. Kami had some really great moments, too, where he could avoid the tick throw, where he gets hit by the standing jab intentionally and then tries to jump out. But Idom has actually layered in his normals to prevent that from happening.
Too far. But I mean, this is one of those things right here, right? You know, you had a great first round. You took out Idom in that first round, but then he comes back 2 in a row here. And it's tough when you're fighting against someone like Idom, especially that last round. Idom dominated that round. So let's see if Kami can stay mentally vigilant here.
Does you have time to uppercut? I mean, if you have time to block, I'd imagine
Yeah.
you have time to uppercut, right?
Never block when you can uppercut in those fireball situations. It's always one of those classic rules.
Ooh.
Try to fish with that towards heavy punch.
Oh, nothing off. Oh, he'll still get it after a couple of sequences. The corner carry after the chase.
Here we go, look at that. And now all of a sudden, Kata gets the counter hit with the towards heavy kick. And there we go, the stun. And now Kami taking round number 1 on an excellent comeback.
Yeah, the neutral roundhouse after the forward throw, if you time it correctly, you could get it at best +1. Even at worst, it's still not going to be a bad deal. It's not going to be your turn anymore, but it's still going to be a problem. And I think, Kami again, or I think Idom just might have tried to contest afterwards. I don't know what it was. It was a counter hit, though.
Yeah, but Idom, you can see just staying at this range every single time, just so that crouch heavy. Oh, okay, gets through there with the EX. First time we've seen wake up EX from Kami. A nice tech.
I love this. Yeah, backing away with the heart rate. He's still very much so taking a look at what the sandbox opportunities could be for Kami. But once he gets closer, EX heart rate is going to be the name of the game.
Yeah, and back-to-back throws from Idom. Got teched and then just went for it again.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you gotta establish that. Nice, not enough to kill, but just needs one more tiny hit here. Just chipping away, just trying to see if you can catch him while he micro walks forward. Activation now, this is scary. Oh, and yes, you can shimmy on the defense as well as Idom just did right there. Walk right out of the throw range and then get the whiff punish.
Oh, no punish. It's going to be fine. Counter hit, gets the snapback. Oki afterwards. Forward throw now. It's going to be so problematic if Idom gets stuck in this corner. Or is it? He still manages to get a whiff punish.
That
or a
time.
whip punish, I guess.
That time, actually, after the heart rate, backdashing. So you can see, whoa! Oof.
Not done yet.
Watch out for the roundhouse.
Here it comes
Got
back
plus
to
enough.
Yeah, plus, when you get it like that, so you can't just take your turn afterwards. Oh, I love that forward walk and the throw after there's that.
That one was a
plus
little
again.
suspicious. That one was a little suspicious. I don't know. I'm going
But
to
you
say
can't
zero.
test it. You can't test it. But that's the problem. You lost last time, and so you're scared,
That's
right?
the beauty of it. That is
Yeah.
the beauty of that sequence. It's like you don't know, you can't, unless you have like a time machine in there and your eye, implanted in your eye where you can slow down time. You have the feng shui engine built in there. You could be like, that looks like -1. Like, no, man. There's no way to tell if it's your turn. Well, there is a way, but there's no way to consistently tell if it's your turn.
I mean, it's that whole thing, right? If you land one safe jump, all of your next few jumps don't have to be perfect, but it's enough to scare the opponent,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've definitely stolen that a couple of times over. But anyways, taking a look at it, Idom, I don't know if he's going to keep fearing that situation. In fact, I think the one way to stop it is just by not being there in the first place. So he's already been very offensive this round to kind of deter that moment from happening again.
And even when he gets that EX Love Me Tender, right, he's using his resources. He's not getting huge amount of damage. And look at this, the life is still even, and now no meter, so he can just go ham with these Sandblasters.
Oh, and there, just in the right range as well. Make it a tick throw, no go.
Tech. Oh!
That was good.
I can't believe he blocked in time. Oh, what a whiff
jeez.
punish. Michael walk backwards just to cause that to whiff. Nice jump out of the corner, but I love that V reversal. But the wake up buttons from
wow.
Kami, and here we got the corner position.
suppression!
Skill 2. Oh! Kami.
Send help. He's got trigger 2. He could command grab.
Yeah, that's what you gotta be careful of, but again, the speed of that move, catching Idom, and now, are we gonna have a situation where even Idom is in losers before top 8?
Oh my lord. I gotta say, Rock Smasher, you
Oh.
blink, you're dead. Ugh. You get punished with a snapback.
Confirm. Counter hit. Gonna get some decent damage off of this, and Idom definitely needs it. His back is against the wall.
And I love the target combo. Yes, still keeps Kami in the corner. Big confirm. That's going to be a stun. It's not going to be enough to kill him. He needs another sequence after this, but it won't be within throw territory. Yeah, he has to do another sequence with hits. He's looking for the frame trap. That's a throw. Now he needs another sequence.
Yep, one more hit now. Tries to go for the low. Tries to catch the low, but we already saw one great comeback from Kami. Oh, here we go.
V-reversal?
Activation. He was too far away for the throw. He saw the V reversal. He tried to throw it, but it just wasn't within range. Oh, but the stand, the classic, whiff a button and then throw another button out.
If Kami gets the first strike and gets Oki, I have a bad feeling Suppressor is going to be what kills Idom. I'm just saying, man. With the way that Idom has been playing too, kind of implementing some of the tip throws, he might be a little bit antsy for throws. We'll see the jump in fierce, the hammer fist coming right into the dome. And look at this, now into the corner. I told you, James, it just might be it. All because of that Suppressor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see one more sequence after this. Uppercut.
God,
Watch
so
out
much
now.
damage, just needs one hit. What a tech, but the perfect to finish it off, and the rage quit here? Is that what we just saw?
Oh my God.
Kami, as we said, a veteran of the New York scene here, has been playing so well, and here he is sending Idom into loser's bracket, and now for the rest of top 16, Knuckledew, Smug, NYC Furby, Punk, and
my
Idom
lordy.
are all in the losers side of the bracket.
What did I say before we started the round? What did I say?
Suppressor?
Yeah!
suppressor?
Did you see the gleam on Luke's animation? Did you see the stars aligning when that suppressor hit? It was just too beautiful to orchestrate. Look at this. The amount of damage you get from these single hit confirms. Idom was playing for his life. to be quite honest with you.
It's like I said, the way that Kami was playing very patiently, and Luke as a character can keep up with Poison's distance and range thanks to that Sand Blaster. He can still have a threat from that range, and while Idom definitely got a lot of the right reads in the mix-up situation, the amount of damage that Luke gets when he's right.
He's right, but you know, Kami 1000% had to work for all of it, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean, like,
for
Idom
sure.
does not let anybody pass for free. He makes them pay the toll, and that toll happens to be a hefty amount of life. But majority of the time, you see Kami down below, right? You see the amount of life he has left. In these moments, he's actually still made it work up until the very end. But again, when you get into these situations where it's in the corner, Luke in the corner, you have to play the guessing game 9 times out of 10. And it's just so difficult to contest. Even after that back medium punch, you are plus a million. Not okay, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it is 1000% your turn afterwards, is what I'm trying to say. But Idom, again, just the tit for tat that's been going on throughout every one of these rounds. It could have gone either way, 1000%.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see that ending sequence when he gets that suppressor off on Idom. You saw just the amount of damage that he was able to do. It comes right about here. It looks like Idom is looking good right here. He has the lead. Oh no, he's trying to catch up.
The last round,
yeah. It's not this
is
round
where he
just
had so much control in the corner. We were talking about how Idom may be setting himself up for suppressor because of this last sequence, right? He needed 2 touches, but he got a throw instead, and of course got the whiff punish after, or sorry, the stand medium kick after. But this was
that
actually
jump
kind of
was
ridiculous.
right there,
that
yeah.
hammer fist, I don't know what the hitbox on it, but it is good. And
And
like
look
I
at
said,
this. Look how much damage that he gets off of this stun right here. Hit, DP.
and guess back medium punch, and then you have to guess again. It's so disheartening. It's like, I don't want to press a button after this because you can't. Like, even if you wanted
exactly. I mean, again, you know, we say frame data is a social construct, but you know, like I said, it still tells you who is right and who is wrong.
to. Even to a supercomputer, there are ones and zeros. There are definitely ones and zeros for the supercomputer, but it's gonna be.
Well, you know
Kami.
what? Computers can't get to 2, so Kami is the one that got to 2 here. 2-1 Kami over Idom.
I have zero response for that. James. Well played. Well played.
Oh man, and now, oh man.
As we get into it, again, we have to take a look at what's been going down. Yeah, we have Ultimate Weapon now gearing up against Shine. I got a little bit too ahead of myself. I was thinking about what's going to happen on the other side, but as it stands right now, Ultimate Weapon versus Shine coming up for our winners quarters. And I got to say, Ultimate Weapon coming in from Philly with Balrog, Shine coming in from good old NYC with Cody and Ibuki. This is going to be a really, really tough matchup because both of these players have been duking it out throughout the entirety of the World Warrior Series, right? But Weapon's been the most consistent. He is currently second in the standings, whereas Shine, he hasn't actually been able to make it through in the World Warrior.
Dang, that's crazy. And Shine, you heard Brian and Rob talking about this. You know, Shine is a player who has been just killing it in the New York scene for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, maybe he's looking at this bracket now. I mean, if he can keep getting through on the winner side, he doesn't have a Knuckle Dew or a Smug or an Arturo or a Punk or now even an Idom to get through. Maybe this is his time.
To be fair, though, he's the one that put Arturo into losers.
Okay, fair.
Right, 2-1. So he did have a glimpse of Arturo in round 3, which is why he got into top 16, right? It could have been either or. But going into Ultimate Weapon, he's been pretty much on a run of a lifetime, I think, this year. He's been showing so much vast improvement. In fact, I do want to hear what he had to say to get himself ready against Shine into this top 16. This will be a tough one for sure, and I'll try my best. That's exactly what we could ever ask for, really. So with that in mind, Ultimate Weapon, again, we talk about how consistent he has been throughout the entirety of the World Warrior Series, and we mentioned that because there's so many killers on the East Coast, right? Even one of the guys who is in first place for that series is not even in the bracket. Like, that's the favorite of Rob and Brian. Like, Kudo's not even here.
And if I remember, Kudo was sitting at 160 points. Ultimate Weapon was at 150.
150.
So he's not that. I mean, that just shows you how consistent that he has been. And, you know, Boxer is one of those characters. I mean, Pugera just won the World War in Japan.
Yeah, number 5, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, and so, again, this is another one of those characters that, you know, we sit here and talk about the Dulcims, Poisons, and Lukes, but Boxer just nicely and quietly doing some damage, even to the point where I think I heard Brian say, it makes me miss using Boxer, you know?
Yeah, but he's He's committed to the
He's
oral
oraled
game.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's oral. He's an old man. He's an old man. From an old man to another. Sorry. He's old, okay?
What?
I was talking to Brian.
What?
Because I know how you feel when I talk about me being old. You're like, Jeremy, you're not even close. And then the hair difference really doesn't prove that. But Ultimate Weapon, already off to a very dangerous start. Yo, Shine has been throwing him all the way to this corner, and he's already about to build himself another set of bar.
Oh,
the
trying to
overhead.
get the stun. Trying to get the stun, and just look at that. The punish. Actually tried to get a little shimmy situation in that Balrog mix-up. And now the dash-up throw. Oh, what the heck? That was a little bit slops right there, but it works out for Shine.
Oh, and the slide walk up. That was so sick,
yeah.
too. That was such a sequence. What was that? Crouching medium punch, crouching jab, crouching medium punch again, throw the knife into hammer. That actually super sick.
Yeah, and again, that's just such good timing on Shine's part to know that exact moment to walk just enough to still get that counter hit.
It's kind of cheating, though, because crouching medium punch gives you so much extra range, and then you're linking it into a crouching jab anyway. You have so much range after that. And I know it's not cheating, but it's very impressive.
It's cheating. Cody cheats. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Kidding.
But that's the danger of like having that kind of strategy behind it too. It's like you could walk in like a micro step to give them a false sense of security, and you're still gonna be in range. Like, you don't even need to walk up. But Ultimate Weapon, not even phased by that. Already off with aggressive start +1 after that, but he's still looking for the EX
That's
song.
exactly what he was looking for. And here we go. Remember, Shine just threw Ultimate Weapon into the corner of the last round, and Ultimate Weapon here. And you saw that right there. He started going back a little defensively, then immediately dashed forward out of nowhere and caught Shine by surprise. That's what we were saying Deadeye Artist needed to do. When Deadeye Artist was scared of the Zonk Knuckle, he backed off, but he kept backing off.
Sure.
Ultimate Weapon backed off a little bit, then immediately dashed forward and showed him a different look.
Yeah. And then after that sequence, he was still within range to get a neutral jump regardless, right? I think there was going to be a normal. If he neutral jumped fierce, he would have been able to at least put Shine in block stun. And look at this. We talked about that Zonk charged up, the amount of carry, but most of the amount of damage leads into this predicament. What are you supposed to do? Back-to-back throws now. Oh, he's giving him the look of a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. Shine could probably take it down off of this hit.
Spend any meter?
Yeah,
he is going to spend the meter. Okay, I was wondering if he wanted to say. Oh, actually,
No,
there's nothing around. There's nothing to save it to. Yeah, spend it now. Spend it now. Never mind. My bad.
He wasn't even done with the combo yet either.
Yeah,
he had
I know,
Sway
right?
to follow up if he wanted to and get another ruffian. He can do whatever he wants. And that's the danger of Cody. That's why we see him on the up and up, because this change to Zonk has been so much of a positive force, and it's just like it's tough to even manage against. We literally have seen what people do when we see meter on the side of Cody. We see how people melt before our very eyes.
Okay.
That was charged up too.
Yeah, level 2 Zonk doesn't change the frame data on block.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. So even though he got the level 2, oh,
That is clean from Shine. The sway past the dash straight and the punish. Very well
finding
played.
ways to neutralize that dash punch from Boxer. Not an easy thing to do.
That's super difficult, man.
Because if you're wrong and he sits there, it's such an easy whip punish for Boxer as well, thanks to that dash punch. Oh, he didn't touch a button. I definitely got hit by that. Oh. Activation. Oh, he just challenged because he knew he had the trigger behind it.
He's gotten a little bit more.
Plus frames and the throw, and Shine one round away from moving on to the winner's side. Can he do this? But again, Ultimate Weapon, he is the second place. He's currently in second place in World Warrior NA Esport.
My God! The grand blow wasn't able to get it. There was not enough activity frames to get into the sway. That was well done by Shine. Again.
Oh, he tried to whip punish. That was just like maybe half a second too slow.
My God, these kicks are so sick. It's so tense. It's so tense. That medium kick is such a buster, too. It can blow up so many different normals in the mid-range. And you can see how much of a threat Ultimate Weapon isn't even trying to, like, whip punish it anymore.
Right. Again, like I said, one of the best medium kicks. Again, it's just a deceptive-looking move. It doesn't look like it has the range that it does, but it reaches far.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Keep the sand in your pocket!
No bad sprays for you.
Oh. Like this.
Okay, now we've got this corner. Tried to cheat with the dash up right there. Shine did go for the check and got the trade. But here we go. Back throw towards the corner. Guess what? Oh,
Jesus.
the timing again! Perfectly for the counter hit!
Stab down. No, he actually's going to keep it.
Back dash! Can he kill?
He's definitely going to try to go for here. Oh, he goes for the switch up. Yes, sir. I thought it was going to be enough to kill, but my mistake. I thought if maybe he could have spent EX, but there is trigger scaling, so
Right.
that is something to consider. Ultimate weapon now on the board.
Yep, got his first round here, but that's all he needs to do is just win. Oh, never mind. You're getting wall splatted, wall bounced here.
Oh, no. This is what we saw from all the other rounds from Shine.
Stun.
Stun.
It is.
He's going to get the side switch still. Look at the input, or the output of this man.
God, why is there so much damage? You talked about it. That is one of the things that Cody does. Just dishes out damage like that, and you just get hit by one thing. You just watch your life melt, and Shine is going to be moving forward here. Like I said, this might be, I mean, you know, it's hard not to say it, but this might be his time to shine here for NAE.
I agree. I totally agree. He's been, you know, trying to find his way back into the good graces. I think, you know, Shine's been super consistent in a ton of different locals as well, but in the moments that he really needs it, he comes through the clutch. And I gotta say, it is through the clutch because he never has an easy path.
Right.
Not ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, in any other region, Shine would be basically like top 1 or 2. But the fact that he's sitting here going up against Punks and Idoms
Even
all the
Ultimate
time.
Weapon, right? This is actually pretty
Yeah.
intimidating. You have somebody who's been super consistent in the same bracket that he's participating in. That could have gone either way, but Shine was the one that kind of rose to the occasion. We talk about the clutch factor. This was a very dominant force from Shine. So
Yeah, and one of the things we saw in the replay here earlier when he did the activation walk-up crouch strong and he got the counter hit. And he ends basically this entire match the same way. It was that combo. He walked up just far enough to get the hit. And let me tell you how hard that is. Oh, no, it wasn't this round. It was the next round, I think. Yeah, but let me tell you how hard that is just to be able to have the perfect timing to get those frame traps like so consistently against your opponent. Is not an easy thing to do.
yeah. I've definitely heard people kind of like talk about that within that circle. It's like you have to really time when your steps are, at least like down to the frames, to figure out when you could actually press a button to catch what you think they're going to press. But that is so intricate, and Shine being able to make it look flawless, or like, sorry, effortless when it comes to his execution has been absolutely flawless thus far. So Shine, again, 2-0, our first 2-0 of the day.
You're right.
But we're not even close to done. We're barely getting started, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. And look, if you guys are enjoying all of the Street Fighter action, soon we promise you will be able to join in on the action as well on your mobile platform. For Street Fighter Duel, the Capcom authorized mobile game, it is available in China right now, so you can definitely pick that up, but the global version is coming soon. And as you can see, all of your favorite characters are there: Ryu, Chun-Li, Ken, and you're going to be going up against the Suzaku Castle, further into Shadaloo City, and explore the mysterious organization. And once again, you can relive a lot of the classic stories with all of these fighters and just, you know, dig into that nostalgia, all your memories from the original Street Fighter 2. Your street legend is now back on track. And all the fighting game styles of their counters, stuns, combos, supers, all the impressive array of fighting elements and associate combos offer a new battle experience challenge for your combat skills. The epic legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now when it's out on the global platform for you guys, and let's fight for each other and join the journey with millions of players to become the best fighter in the world.
It really is a beautiful graphic, isn't it? The way that looks, Street Fighter Duel. Well, guess what? They've also transformed it into another type of mobile game. Taking a look at the global hit mobile game, The Battle Cats. It's going to feature Street Fighter characters. You see that? Look at how it's well done. And the fact that they put the costumes on the cats themselves. Let me tell you what, man. I've definitely played this game on a very leisurely basis to kind of, you know, pass time. But now I think I might get a little bit serious because this crossover event is going to be happening now, available until December 12th. This is a very, very special collaboration. Be sure to download and play the Battle Cats for free. That's right, for free, on iOS or Android to enjoy more Street Fighter, even with the crossover stages as well, with the characters and other exclusive content. I know you're a fan of cats, James, so
Oh, yeah.
I'd expect to see this on your phone after this break.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into this.
Like
Battle
now.
Cats, I mean...
Like right now.
All right. I'll start downloading it here. All right, okay. But yes, again, this is the NA East here. and we are having some crazy action here. Of course, if you guys want to get in on the action, well, it's kind of late at this point in time. We're mostly done through all of the World Warriors here. There are, remember, we had all these regions here. Most of them have been coming to an end. We've been talking about the NA East one with Kudo currently in the leader right here, but there were 26 different regions and 26 regional champions.
Yeah, and I think Japan just finished all of theirs today. I think.
Oh, was
they
it?
had their. I think they had theirs. There was one more to be had, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking into.
Was
it.
that the one that Pugera won?
That's the one. Well, so there was another one that had gone down like literally like a couple hours ago.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, a couple of hours ago. So I do want to check out the VODs to that. But again, all of the stuff that's been going on for the World Warrior. First and foremost, shout out to all the tournament organizers you see before your very screen. I can name all of them, but we're probably going to go past the overtime. But I will say, you guys have been doing such a fantastic job. Please hear us out from the bottom of our hearts, from everybody that's been involved with this entire Capcom Pro Tour. You guys are what really helped make this happen. So thank you guys for putting a showcase with some of the best players around the world.
Right, exactly. A fighting game scene is built by the community. So again, shout outs to all you guys out there. But again, NA East, brutal. I mean, again, nobody's bracket is correct right now.
That's why I didn't even bother making a bracket, James. I'm like, I've actually been invited to do fantasy brackets. I'm like, I'll pass. I'm just going to go ahead and commentate.
Well, you know what? Coming up right after this, our last winner side matchup to find out who the fourth top 8 winner side. It's either going to be Lil Evil and Space Boy, but again, right after that, Knuckle Dew, Smug, NYC Furby, Punk, all on the loser side. You do not want to miss any of those matches. Stay tuned after this break.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand have turned defeat. So fight, time to fight. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are street fighters.
Hadouken! Round 1. Fight.
When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending. Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. If you want to start off on the right foot in this city, hit the streets.
Yeah, hey there, I do this. Never fear losing. And when I get up in the game, y'all be improving. A real problem, but I solve them all fakes proof. And if you think I'm going forward, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. Or dunks aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for my kinfolk. And I put on for my city from the intro. Fight! It started from the ground up, training getting wound up, channeling it in itself and moving up and down, crossing over, passing down, for the time the clock can keep score. Years I never thought it crossed before. When I get hot on my knees, I gotta dig in the deep. I feel like I'm on the left, really got me. Since I went to win, no goodbyes. If you just let it get, I'm out in the skinny, riding around in the dreamy. Once I get the feeling, the top player is here.
Let me have some fun.
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight.
destiny.
My secret arts can Shoryuken! Street Fighter 6.
Welcome back, everybody, to Capcom Pro Tour NA East. It has been a day so far, upset after upset, and just craziness. I mean, how do you even describe this bracket at this point?
I'm not upset at all, James. I think it's been nothing but a slugfest thus far. Unpredictable for sure, but I will say, even in the back, I've gone, when we took a break, I went immediately to the production, and everybody was just losing their minds. They're like, what kind of a bracket is this? And we haven't even gone to the nitty-gritty yet. We just started with our top 16 not too long ago. If you had missed it, we highly encourage you guys to check it back out. The first 3 matches have concluded, but it's not even close to finishing up just yet. Just in case you don't know, there is a voice differential. His voiced by James Chen. Mine is Vicious, of course. The LCQ is going to be stacked. This guy, Tukimoshi, he knows what he's talking about. That's how you know it's live, by the way. That's how he knows what he's talking about.
That's what he's talking about.
LCQ is going to be stacked.
Right.
This is going to be stacked right now. James, I know what you're doing. Let's take a look at the bracket before we fuse into one voice. Lil Evil versus Space Boy. What can we say about Lil Evil's run? This man had taken down some pretty considerable names, right?
I mean, one of the dark horses that Brian and Rob mentioned, Metro M, was taken down. He beat him 2-0, but the big one, he took out Punk 2-1 on the winner side. That is why Punk is starting on the loser side. And Lil Evil, you know what he's doing with? He's doing it with the Luke. But you know what? You know what Space Boy is doing with? He might be doing it with the Luke as well.
Maybe. I'd imagine with the mirror match, he'd want to stick it out too. I don't know if he'd ever want to kind of switch out to Sakura, because Space Boy's Sakura is ridiculously good, right? His current record, he's taken down iDrop, he's taken out FGC Jesus, as well as the Anthrax. I've definitely seen all 3 of those players play, but that was like back-to-back 2-0s to get him into the top 16. He has been nothing but clean and pristine up until this run, and he has to face off against the evil one.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, I doubt it's going to be the Sakura, because Sakura, obviously, normals, pretty stubby normals compared to a lot of other characters, and that's exacerbated when you're going up against a character like Luke, right? I mean, obviously, she's got the light kick, which is really, really strong, and her heavy kick is pretty decent, but, when you're sitting there trying to battle these towards heavy punches and standing medium kicks and stuff from Luke, it can be pretty rough. So.
I think one of the things that she can do against Luke also is, like, her heavies are actually very, very good. I think her back fierce is also pretty decent, but mostly her neutral fierce reaches out. It's kind of like similar to Ken's standing straight, like the standing medium punch, but it's just not as fast. So I still think that's a great counter-poking tool, or a great whip punish tool from further out, but that's not even going to be the case. I do like the idea it's going to be Luke versus Luke between these 2 players, because I feel like that's the characters that brought him to this part of the circuit. So, like, why not continue on? So it's going to be very interesting to see.
So obviously,
I've never seen this colorway, by the way. That's cool.
Yeah,
oh no!
I know, right? So we've got Lil Evil in the blue Luke over here, and Space Boy in the, what is that? Like the camo?
It's camo, yeah. That's
desert camo.
It's part of the story. He was special ops. Yeah.
Okay.
Before he decided to go full MMA, he was special ops.
Makes sense.
Ooh. And so this is where it gets kind of funky, right? Like, you are so reluctant to even try to throw, like, maybe like a sandblaster or whatnot, but that is a big whiff punish. You see from the medium ranges, the suppressor in this matchup in particular, I think suppressor's one of the best that you could actually use. But it's funny, I don't think there's any real bad matchups for suppressor, the V-Skill 2.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
God.
that. I mean, but that tells you how good V-Skill 1 can be, right? Because that is definitely the one that you see used, I feel like, more often, more commonly among Lukes online and such.
Online for sure, yeah. There's been a real significant shift, though, in the meta, in competitive meta. I think there's a lot to say about the suppressor because of what it adds on to. Like, even if it's blocked, it's special cancelable. And look, this is the moment where you can actually get a big deal off of the V-Skill 2, but still, it's been all normals. Look at that. The punish there from Lil Evil, the side switch as well,
yeah.
forward throw,
Okay, I like
set him
that.
up.
And you know what? I was just about to say, I mean, the neutral right now, the neutral has been in favor of Space Boy, but Lil Evil just getting that mix-up right here and was able to take that round. He does spin the meter.
I wonder if he just doesn't want it, like, for, like, the next round. Like, he could, like, accidentally input a critical art or
Super?
something.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, there he spends another one right there right away. He could have just did that at the start of the round,
Agreed.
right?
But it's fine. More fuel to the
He
fire.
just
Lil Evil.
wanted to be
Uppercut.
sure.
You could actually suppress or anti-air that, but it's still going to be damaged nonetheless. But now you give Space Boy this opportunity, right? He actually dropped a combo. Lil Evil wasn't able to finish off what he started from that sequence.
Oh, not fast enough to punish that, and there it is again. The cross-cut DP.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, you get the full punish on that. There you go, doing the research right there is Lil Evil. Making sure he has the optimal punish for that. Oh, the check with the stand light kick. And again, like I said, I feel like Space Boy's been doing better at neutral here. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have a lot of life to spare for right now. Oh, nice dash forward. But look at this, one hit and the super is going to kill him. That's why he's gone for the throw back to back.
Oh, he could actually go in. Yeah, this is actually very dangerous. Lil Evil opting to go for trigger. You could actually. Oh my God! Never mind. No chance. No chance. Space Boy's gonna let go of that. EX back to back to back.
Dude,
Sandblasters.
they were just chucking those sandblasters. Trade. And you know what? Space Boy was like, you know what? I got the lead. We will trade all day. And it's a good thing that those hit multiple times because combined together, that move would have killed Space Boy. But on the trade, it was only one hit.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
he got to live. And again, look, this is what happens when you play a character like Sakura. Like I said, you don't have quite like the medium kick ranges that other characters have.
But it leads to so much more, man.
But
Space Boy just.
It makes you so good at this footsies, the whiff punish, the in and out baiting. So you see him.
Oy.
You
That
see
could've been more.
Yeah, the micro walks from Space Boy to try to get Lil Evil to whiff are just so good.
Ooh. Uppercut. Oh, sorry. It's the back roundhouse untire. There's the X uppercut from Lil Evil.
Oh, got the counter hit. Gonna be able to go into the target combo. Get the knockdown. Tries to go for the suppressor. Back to back. Tried to do another one, in fact. 3 in a row. Here we go. Lil Evil with the activation. But
Nice call out, by the way, from Space Boy after the activation.
oh, it's so fast.
Oh, you see him baiting. That back medium punch is easily like a call out to, from Space Boy. He's trying to bait Lil Evil into a false sense of security, like thinking there's going to be a sandblaster. That is a classic. Guile does the same kind of thing, right? When he just like whip
back
and throw.
medium punch or whip
No,
throws,
just whip throw, yeah. To kind of bait, like making him think there's a Sonic Boom coming. Oh, whip punish with a snapback.
What is that? Third, fourth good? I think that was like the fourth good whip
yeah,
punish
yeah.
there from Space Boy. Oh, we almost got another one.
Ooh, no punish from the side of Lil Evil. He thought he had it.
And now Space Boy here, one round away. There, that was definitely plus. Yep, and here. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. So you know what? If you're gonna do it again, I'm not just gonna EX DP. I'm gonna take my full 300 plus damage here. The problem is he's got the super as well. There it is, and our fastest match of the day for sure. Space Boy coming in here 2-0 over Lil Evil, sending Lil Evil to the loser side of the bracket.
Man, I didn't think it would go down to that much of a difference between the two Lukes. Space Boy just on a different planet, to be honest with you. No pun intended. 2-0. That's the only other 2-0 that we've seen thus far, but in a much quicker manner, to be honest with you. Just the way that the damage output is with Luke, I don't, consider it to be any longer, realistically. But
no pun intended, but you can also apply it to just his spacing in the neutral. The amount of times he whiff punished, I mean, that is a reason to call him Space Boy for sure, or maybe, Space Boys to Man or something, because he's definitely a Space Man, dude.
I like that one. I thought you were gonna throw in like something about drifting, but I'll tell you what, man, that was a pretty good one.
All right, and look at this, and like I said, 2 games straight, and it felt very fast too, even though you could see the timer going all the way down here. But this is that trade right here, and you see how Spaceboy barely survived that.
Could have been a double KO, if anything. And there's that one sequence too. We talk about what happens after throw. You do get the roundhouse pretty much for free. You have to time it though in order to get a plus. But Lil Evil, I think he had the right read. He had the right idea. He didn't want to be put into that position any longer. But at the same time, at what risk? You spent so much bar, and then for what? That had to be like a mental green light for Spaceboy. It's like, all right, well, I don't have as much to fear, because even if you get some of these straight hits, it's not going to lead into a big comeback factor. Right. A lot of the times you get these big openings into EX Flash Knuckle. What happens? A lot of damage, but also more importantly, a lot more corner carry.
Yep. And so that's why, I mean, I was saying, okay, wake up with the super, do as much damage instead of waking up with the EX uppercut, but maybe the EX uppercut would have been the better long-term decision right there, because you only spend the 1 bar and you have more bars for the corner carry, etc., etc. We have seen this a lot, even on the offensive side, going with the super right away, and then they do the damage in the beginning, but then they lose all their utility, and then they just end up losing that round.
Yeah. Well, that's just how it played out, right? So Spaceboy, again, being the one to not only dish out the damage, but also manage his resources a little bit more. He's going to be moving on into top 8, facing off against Shine. That's going to be a matchup that they've played a ton of times. So I'm kind of curious to see how that matchup goes in this stage of the game. Let's take a look at the losers bracket.
Oh, man, here we go. I mean, look at this. Look at this bracket right now. If it wasn't for the fact that we see those bracket spaces from people coming from the winner side, how do you even think to look at this and say that this is the loser side of the bracket? Knuckledew, Itachi's Legacy, Mylin, Smug, NYC Furby, Punk, Jip the Boss, One Way to God Jesus, and then Lil Evil, Ultimate Weapon, Idom, and Deadeye Artist waiting for whoever wins this. Like you said, we hadn't even gotten to the nitty gritty earlier. Now we are getting to the point where people are going home. They are being sent out of this tournament.
Like there's something that needs to be addressed here. You see down below in round 1 losers, right? NYC Furby, Young Art versus Punk the God. The winner of that,
oh my God,
has to play against Idom.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Let's talk about it. We'll get there when we get there.
That's like the losers finals into the grand finals right there of every other tournament.
Man, that's a lot, man. Knuckledew versus Itachi's Legacy. Let's talk about that one. Knuckledew, again, back in full force. If that wasn't a big surprise in terms of what's happening in the losers bracket, the fact that Knuckledew is back in competitive form, that's got to be kind of ridiculous. And his first CPT back, he's making it into top 16. Pretty impressive. Yeah. It's not even close to over yet, but Knuckledew, he had his run going into it. Taking a look at who he played off against, he was sent down in round 3 by Deadeye. We talked about that earlier, but afterwards he took OG Yon with him, the man who organizes Battle for the Bruce Lee. A lot of these players do participate in that local. Itachi's Legacy, on the other hand, he actually fell short to Idom 0-2, but he also took down Vasiliak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'll tell you what, Itachi has made his way and his name pretty far into this bracket. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be it's going to be Cammy from what we saw versus the Blanca.
Theoretically, right? And again, I just talked about Nishikin making a big run, taking out players like Daigo in loser side bracket. Tokido with that Blanca as well. This is just the state that we're in right now with this game. You know, we sit here and talk about, I mean, in any other game, you look at characters like Jury and Cody and stuff, you're like, they've got to be like the top in the game. But, you know, we've been talking about Luke and Poison and Dalsum. But again, the damage boxers are doing over here. We've got this Blanca coming over here. There's just so many strong characters that you can play. I mean, Punk listed himself as 11, I think, as what.
Yeah, he can use whoever he wants, really. I'd imagine it'd be Luke for the Dalsum matchup, but he could virtually use whoever he wants. I would love to see him do a mirror match but that's just, we're getting ahead of ourselves, right? Let's take a look at what's this going to be like for these two individuals. I would love to see more Blanca mains in general because, you know, we saw one that have migrated from the east to the west. I don't know specifically exactly where, but he wasn't from the west before, but Wolfgang has been one of the biggest pioneers for Blanca.
Just played sets with Chris ECH
Absolutely.
as well, yeah.
And had to face him again in CLG's Run It Thursday, literally like a day and a half ago, really. So this is going to be interesting. I want to know.
Oh, gee. Yeah, okay.
So he listed Cammy, but you slide dog. I actually put down Guile or G. Either way, there was a G in it. So.
Yeah, or Mika potentially or something, right? But again, I wrote down anyone because that's just, you can't expect what NuckleDu is going to go with. He's going to throw you off all the time. But again, as you mentioned, NuckleDu, who we haven't seen through the majority of Street Fighter V recently, but Street Fighter League, he came back, and now here he is in CPT.
So sick.
And honestly, I mean, I can't wait to see him play some Street Fighter 6, man. I'll tell you right now. Ugh.
For him, it's like riding a bike, to be honest with you. It truly is.
Oh boy! What a jump timing by Itachi's Legacy.
I feel like he's had that kind of advantage against people who throw fireballs for the longest time, right? Because of the way he jumps.
Yeah, Blanca's always been a fast jumper, and so he's always been really, really good against fireball characters for that reason. In the games that he was good, because obviously Blanca is definitely one of those characters that has had very up and down in terms of tiers.
A little volatile in terms of Street Fighter V, right? Because it's just a lack of knowledge, I feel like, and a lack of the player base that's really like kept Blanca's from really excelling.
I'm just talking about the history of this character. I mean, best character in hyper fighting, then one of the worst in Super Turbo. This character goes everywhere. Oh, and
he's going everywhere now.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
exactly.
what. Not gonna let him fly for free though, at a hefty cost.
Oh, that crouching heavy punch anti-air is so good.
About to take him on Spirit Airlines. Don't do that. He's gonna forget his luggage. 10 seconds.
Check it, but he missed the second jab somehow. But yeah, 7-6. Use micro walk. Oh, what a slide, but it missed. I can't believe he blocked that. And now, yeah, you just sit there and wait. You don't. Yeah, that's no way that was gonna take the round off of that Rock Crusher.
Imagine if it was like a little bit closer and he got both hits because he would have had the gray life and the extra hit. I think he would have won.
He was just swinging with that standing heavy punch and he got jumped on, walked right out of the throw range, but didn't get the punish.
Did the up ball just completely miss on the body splash from G? That was actually kind of wild. Backbreaker, side switch.
And now corner here. Yep. Gets in there with the wheel kick.
It's tough. The stun's imminent.
Yeah, I like that. That's twice now that Itachi's Legacy has woke up with the low button. So he's had the read, and wow, crouching heavy punch, point blank.
Oh, he's charging it, but you can jump in on it for free. Not quite the same as its previous form, but NuckleDu, he was primed and ready. He saw it. He's like ground shave rolling. I know exactly what to do with this. Just back, and that's such a cool animation. He goes like double back fist in the air. That is the most like old school fighting style because he's like this. I feel like, you know, fisticuff kind of style and just lays it down. That's kind of brutal.
It's good. I mean, it shows you right there that despite the fact that we haven't seen NuckleDu in a while, he still has all the knowledge. He knows how to punish everything. And again, one of the reasons why is because he kind of mains everyone. I feel like he's probably played like, he's probably one of those people that has a Smurf account with every character in Grandmaster or Warlord.
He's getting there. He's currently Diamond with Steve Carl Wilson, but I'll tell you what, he's definitely got some Heidi accounts. He does. That's what it is. That's the name of the character, the CFN.
Okay. Oh, yes, I see.
It's Diamond rank, I promise.
Oh, my goodness.
I was literally looking to his stream like not too long ago. I was watching him play.
Oh, that's punish right there. Yep.
Yeah, he got second place over at Run It Thursdays as well for the East Coast, falling short to whom? Kudo.
Yeah, and again, like I said, Itachi's Legacy has woken up with low attacks, reading NuckleDu's shimmies a lot, so NuckleDu's got to go with a lot more meaties, I feel like, to punish that. And this is why he's playing G, right? It's because he can punish all the Blanca balls, meter or not. Oh!
Command Guard could have been dangerous. It could have been pretty much death, possibly, with the amount of life left.
Oh,
covering that.
Electricity. A lot of active frames, and I like that V reversal from NuckleDu. Get out of the corner. Wow, just trying to walk up for the throw. Didn't quite get it. Nice tech from Itachi's Legacy.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, that was
That was
know
the
what-
V skill
Yeah, that was
jump
the
right
V
there.
skill jump.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, like, what other follow-ups could he have had to, like, probably jump in with, right? That would extend his normals, because G has such a great tool, or sorry, great array of tools for anti-airing.
Yeah, that crouching heavy punch it's nerfed too, by the way. It got nerfed, but it is still one of the best anti-airs, so it is still amazing. And that is the thing about NuckleDu right now, is his anti-airs have been on point, like we just saw.
Oh, we get the smash over, EX,
Yeah,
dash
all the way
up,
to the corner.
command grab possibly.
Oh,
No.
twice now. He's busted out of there, but NuckleDu's like, you know what? I'll keep making you spend all your meter on these EX Blanca balls. I'm okay with that.
Ooh, there's the big confirm into the trigger. Heel kick. What happens now? Is he going to spend it again? He missed the meaty entirely. Itachi woke up with the crouching short.
Yeah, like I said, he's been waking up with those lows a lot, and NuckleDu read it. He was going to
Oh,
stop
my
it,
lord.
but oh, that was supposed to be in the super as well, but he did it a little too. Oh, he's got a
He's
second
so
chance.
sick.
He's got a second
He's
chance.
so sick.
Dead?
Oh,
Yeah.
1000%. There is absolutely like no scaling behind that. That was just V skill raw into critical art. This guy NuckleDu, he's got the matchup in the back pocket. Nice and easy. He's going to be moving on.
Well, look, if Little Evil wants to make that win over Punk count, he's going to be going up against NuckleDu next. So, you know, remember we heard Brian and Rob say, want to see that NuckleDu versus Punk Grand Finals. Not going to happen, but Little Evil took out one of them. Can he take out the other?
Oy, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a huge problem, but nonetheless, it's going to be exciting. I don't think NuckleDu will stick it out with G against Little Evil specifically for Luke, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be the Cammy pick. I do like the Guile pick for that matchup, but we'll get there when we get there, ladies and gentlemen.
And yeah, I mean, before we even get to the next match, dude, shout out to Itachi's Legacy. Shout outs to everybody who made this top 16.
True,
I mean,
yeah.
seriously, like, I don't want to just like brush by this, because getting here in the top 16 in this bracket, I mean, we've already seen the carnage here that we've been going through here.
Yeah.
So if you've made it in the top 16, consider that an accomplishment right there. You can put that
absolutely.
on your resume for sure. So
I
congratulations.
want to see it on their Twitter headline. That is for sure. Top 16 in the last year of Street Fighter V for the Capcom Pro Tour, because that in and of itself is quite the accomplishment, because this is one of the most stacked regions. Not even in just this bracket alone, but every single local that these guys put on, they put it on like with 1000% effort. And these guys really, really make sure that they get the best of the best out of these players, and they really do, man. These guys are such a treat to watch, which is why everybody's here, right?
Yeah.
We've literally seen this all over social media. Everybody is here watching this. So with that in mind, our next matchup, another banger. Mai Lin, who's been doing great work this year with that Laura, going up against Smug.
Yeah, Smug, you can see here, has got listed himself as a G player, another one of the players who used to be a boxer player, but has definitely found a lot more joy here with the G, and has been rocking this character for quite some time now. Again, he was sent to losers bracket. He fell also to I believe it was Zonk. It was Zonk Muscle, who sent him here, because Zonk took out Kudo and Smug. I mean, that's a good list of
true.
players. Yeah,
but Mai Lin actually fell short to Kami. Actually,
That's
2-0
right,
as well.
yeah.
We were talking about that earlier on. But overall, in terms of what they did over on loser side, right? Smug had taken down OG Yan to finally eliminate him down in the loser side. But this is going to be pretty important, right? Mai Lin also took down Z's Nuts 2-0. Z's has actually been on a run too. He's been doing super well for himself these last couple of months. But again, Mai Lin, also one of those cats. Also in DTN, their run was phenomenal. So this is going to be quite the explosive match as we could expect from the rest of these matches.
Yeah, again, Smug isn't even in that top 8 for World Warrior right now, but
No.
Mai Lin is. So there you go, just showing you exactly how well Mai Lin has been playing, and of course doing with the Laura Poison combination. It seems like there's a lot of these combinations here, right? Because Smug is a boxer and a G player. One Way to God is also a boxer and a G player, and then of course Mai Lin, Laura Poison, same as Idom as well. So these good pairing of characters to cover the weaknesses, and it is going to be G versus Laura.
And this is going to be pretty interesting. So there's been a lot of experience from the side of, I believe, Smug playing against this Laura pretty much day in, day out, I feel like. Not specifically Mai Lin, but I feel like Mai Lin could also say the same. Like, he's been duking it out on so many different levels, on people's streams, at different locals, etc.
Here we go, trying to push Smug into the corner. Oh, medium punch actually avoided the cross-up splash, but it missed.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Look, Mylin's acting like he's not going to get command grabbed here.
Not today.
Plus frames. Now backing off, trying to find his way in. Does find his way in. Goes for the low option after the light.
The V-shift break actually catches Smug trying to jump. But can you block this? Well, there's nothing to block if you get interrupted. Mylin has been throwing a plethora of normals. The mediums, again, just finding all the marks against Smug. Already off to a great start. No meter down below, though. Pretty expensive round. Smug can lead to a lot of damage. Possibly of this. There he goes. The
one
buffered
right
light.
there, yep. There's one right there. Double dash. Oh, tried to get the frame trap by a little bit of that micro walk right there. Trying to get a crush counter, perhaps. Oh, this time he does get the command grab. And again, you can't let someone discourage you from going to your options. Just because we got away from it once doesn't mean he'll get away from it again. Oh, he was hoping that was going to stun. He was like 2 pixels away from the stun, and it may cost him.
A little bit problematic now for Smug, or so I thought. The roundhouse, streams out into the trigger. Get an extension, smash low. Either way, he was going to be big chilling into the next round. But this is going to be a great start for both players. Fully loaded down below with critical art. We're going to see which one gets an explosive start. I'm leaning more towards G because of those light normals.
Oh, man. That perfect standing light kick buffer. I mean, how nice is it to have a light kick that can stuff those lows like that and be bufferable?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, Laura's got one too. Oh, dude. All the G players are not letting you get out of the corner right now. That's the skill.
Except when Mylin legit just jumped again.
Yeah.
except for that moment, yeah.
Again, don't let him discourage you, right? So Mylin showing that as well. Dangerous part right now is Smug has a lot of meter right now. Uh-oh, but you know what? Mylin has the corner.
Oh.
Counter hit, but didn't get the combo. That's not going to combo either. Dude, he is just swinging those medium punches.
It works out. We're looking for an activation.
Trigger, yeah. This is the
Command
scary
grab.
part.
The scaling is not going to be too severe because, again, off of the command grab has been changed.
Is he going to super? Not yet. No, he's going to save the meter for all the wake up buttons. No scare at all here from Mylin. Mylin taking game number 1 over Smug. Is Mylin going to try to put Smug out of the tournament before we get to top 8?
It's a possibility. The way that they've been playing thus far, it's been very hard for Smug to kind of track down. Right, we had a little bit of an instance where he was trying to get the command grab early, couldn't get it. In the second round of game 1, he managed to get a couple, which led to his victory, his overall success. But even afterwards, it's like, it feels like Smug is mixing himself up because Mylin has been so unpredictable on defense.
Yeah. And man, again, just the quality of these players here. I was talking to NYC Furby earlier, and he's basically saying this is a great time to be playing because everybody's so good. It's like it's so unknown who can win at this point, even to the point where IDOM hasn't just been dominating even the locals.
And it hasn't been that way he hasn't been doing so for a very, very long time. Anybody's been stepping up to the plate.
Yeah. And look at this, finding the right time for that standing medium kick. What a whiff punish by Smug. Here we go. Remember, G is the ultimate character. You can never count him out. He's got it. He has the meter for the super. He missed. Oh, actually, that was the setup. That was the setup.
Yeah, he was setting himself up. And either way, I don't think with the amount of scaling involved, I don't think the critical art would have been able to kill. It's like a little bit over like half the stun bar, but I will say that sequence of going like smash under into crouching medium punch at the perfect timing, that's been very, very successful in a lot of these cases of like getting false sense of security, thinking you can press a button and be punished, quote unquote.
It's just one of those things that G is so able to do. He's able to whip things on your wake up, and it looks like he's super punishable, but he's like that, exactly. Oh, okay, yeah. Hit out of the air, so he's going to be able to punish on the landing.
What are you supposed to do about this? Just trying to back away. Yes, dissipating the thunderclap. Very well done off the light.
I feel like I've never seen that jump attack before. Which? The G jump attack that we just saw. The air-to-air right there.
Oh, I missed it, actually. Oh, boy. With the trade.
All the way to the corner now. Oh, backdash, but not going to get away. Oh! Smug dropped his combo, but it worked out for him.
So he had missed like the meaty because of the backdash, but he was still able to get like the stand jabs. Yeah, he did end up missing like smash over.
I think it was when he jab into the dash punch, right?
Yeah, I believe, smash over or under, he would have been just fine. But Nice catch on the backdash. Again, Mylin keeping it very ambiguous. I think, had Mylin been able to recover off that or at least get like a punish, that would have been lights out for game.
Yeah. But Smug here, tying it up 1-1 now. So here we go.
Impressive. Super impressive from both players. Just walking a little forward.
And then gets shimmied at the start here. But again, early on in the round, if you get shimmied, damage isn't going to be as high, but not checking the forward dash, but just going for the throw in a -2 situation. Probably trying to tech. What a
That was
dash
sick.
under, but how did he have the reaction to V-skill?
I'd imagine it was like some sort of an option select,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Oh, stayed in the front, the classic. Right there from Laura. And now, match point for Mylin. Again, this is loser's side. Just like Itachi's Legacy being taken out of the tournament, whoever loses this is out.
Oh my god, don't say that.
Oh, I love those crouching light kick checks under the thunderclap. Oh, yeah, gets in there. Finds the hit on the crouch heavy punch. Plus frames, catches him low, trying to walk backwards. And now the meaty into the combo. Needs one more hit for the stun. Nice block on the overhead.
Tried to bank it on the overhead. This is where G shines the most. Still getting Oki, forward throw, but you're not safe yet, especially with that V. Oh, that V reversal could have been thrown.
I thought he was going to go for it, but he was scared he was too far away. Oh, he faked the command grab.
You're dead?
Yeah,
you're hella dead.
Done right here, and there we are going to final game, final round. Smug and Mylin, let's go.
I gotta say, Smug had that planned from the start. You see how he backed off significantly and he kind of like crouched a little bit? Oh boy.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna command throw, I'm gonna command throw.
Yeah,
and
he
he
was
did
teasing
it.
it.
Yeah. Oh, got the link off the crouch light kick. That crouch light kick to check the thunderclap and now to catch the forward dash have been working so well. Oh, he tried to anti-air.
Oh boy.
Check
Yeah.
again. No free command dashes, no free avant for you.
It's so tough. Yeah, still in the right space to anti-air accordingly. That is actually unfortunate. Mylin tried to back away as soon as that was whiffed, and now it's all Smuggles. Watch out for the command grab. Absolutely ready for it. That was disgusting. My man did air-to-air, V-skill, then on the way down, that orb was still there, by the way. You couldn't even see which way he was going, and it was down below for Smug to get the final mix to move on into losers, thus eliminating Mylin. That could have gone either way still.
Yeah, that's one of those okie dokes right there because, you see that fireball, he's in the air, your natural tendency is to stand and block. If you haven't seen it or if you forgot about it until that moment there, you're just going to get caught by that because it is a setup for an empty low. It just doesn't look like it.
It never does. Yeah, that's actually so tricky. I've only gotten hit by that like once. And the only reason why I haven't gotten hit by it again is because I stopped playing that. But no, that mix-up was so potent. That was actually so difficult to block. But even the events that led up to it, right? Let's take a look at what even happened with Mylin's defense. Mylin has been playing so well with some of these wake-up normals. Smug had absolutely been checked through and through for that entire game one, but this is where we start to see Smug really trying to bring it back, especially at this kind of a deficit too, getting the full sequence too. We've seen the frame kill into the smash under that led to that demise.
And Smug honestly had done such a good job checking Mylin's cancels into the command dash
Towards
forward.
the end,
Yeah, I mean, even earlier we just saw that in the replay there, and then we see that's what kind of turned it around over here. And that one, you saw that he was faking the command grab, and he was just saying, you know what, I'm gonna make you jump forward.
And it's been so tough, like even in this corner. This is the sequence that kind of brought us to our knees a little bit. Mylin actually was trying to back away and reset the situation.
Watch this.
That is so gross.
So gross.
That was actually so gross. I'd imagine Mylin tried to go for like a tech or something, or maybe like a back throw to kind of like reset the situation. But Smug, knowing full well how that setup works, recovers just in time to catch whatever it is that Mylin tried to do. And now that's going to be him moving on. But big ups to Mylin having a very, very impressive run.
Oh, yeah.
Not even just in the CPT, but this year alone. We've got eyes on you, man. Really looking forward to what you have for the future.
Don't forget, this is not his only chance. He's got one more chance here in the World Warrior because he's in that top 8. So he will be playing in that final. He'll be seated, I believe it was number 7.
Number
I think.
7,
Yeah.
currently, yeah.
So, but he's going to be in it. So he has another chance. So things are not done for Mylan just yet. Smug making it through. And he's going to be going up against Ultimate Weapon. You know, a little something about Boxer. So that's going to be interesting.
Maybe we'll see the mirror match. Maybe not. It's going to be up to Smug, I feel like. So Ultimate Weapon, he's going to have a lot in store for the other Boxer main, just in case that does happen.
But
that's going to lead us to a lot going forward. And I know you're shaking your head. I know everybody else at home is like, all right, now we get to the nitty-gritty. Well, not quite yet, right? Although you have been enjoying some of the Street Fighter V action, I highly encourage you guys to check out, in the future, Street Fighter Duel. The Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is now available for download in China. For those that have been tuning into the CPT overseas, you guys get to enjoy yourselves some nice Street Fighter Duel. The global version coming out real soon. The epic legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now and let's fight for each other and join the journey with millions of players to become the best fighter, exactly as we're doing with this weekend's CPT for NA East.
Yeah, and I mentioned that Mylan has a second chance in that World Warrior. However, everybody has another chance because there is going to be an LCQ at Capcom Cup. The last chance qualifier, as you can see here, will be streamed. You can see right there on February 12th and 13th. It'll be here in Burbank, California. Registration is now open, so if you want to get there, and they were talking about the last chance qualifier on No Neutral, the winner of that usually comes out of that on fire because they just won a tournament here. So while CPT and World Warrior are coming to a close, this is your last chance to qualify. So go over to capcom.us/LCQ for more information on how to register. Sometimes this LCQ can be just the most insane hype event. You do not want to miss it. And if you can have the chance to play in it, you definitely want to register right now.
I love checking out the group stage of it all. I love the intensity in the room when it comes to the LCQs. Listen, even if you don't plan on participating, we highly encourage you guys to make some room and some space both in your wallets and in your calendar to make it through to the LCQ, because again, this is a wondrous occasion. This is the final year of Street Fighter V on an official level, I feel like, with the Capcom Pro Tour. We highly encourage you guys as Street Fighter V fans to check this out. But I'll tell you what, right now, for all the fans waiting in the rafters, we do have quite the matchup before you. This is truly a test of time. It's going to be Young Art, NYC Furby, going up against one of the greatest to ever do it, Punk the God. That's going to be happening after this short break. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you soon.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand after defeat. So fight, time to fight. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are street fighters.
too far. Please forgive me.
My name is Seth.
Bow down before my cycle. It's time for trap.
Show me everything. Download.
This will do.
See what I'm really made of. I'll settle this. It's the end. The finale. You can't escape.
This is it right here. It's the loser's run. We're going to see who's going to be making it into the top 8 of the Capcom Pro Tour NA East. And I bring it with that much excitement because of the fact that we have ourselves quite the banger, as if it wasn't explosive enough already. Ladies and gentlemen, are you prepared for what I'm about to show you alongside James Chen? My name is Vicious. Again, you guys have been tuning in to some of the heaviest hitters, not even just the country, but the world.
Yeah, and two of them right now, two players who I would have counted as some of the favorites to win this event completely, are going up against each other. I mean, we can't even talk about the one that they're going to have to play after
Three of the favorites. Well, for all the others, 3 of the favorites.
So it's going to be NYC Furby going up against Punk, and Arturo has been on a tear recently with his Dalsum play. Like I said, I feel like Dalsum definitely up there, top 3, top 2, top 1 character perhaps. And Punk, I don't know, like the hardest thing about fighting against Punk though is that you have no idea who he's going to use, and a lot of times the character that he picks to use to try to counter your character is just the most off the wall oddball
It's
pick.
tough, man. Like, you don't know which Punk is going to be coming to your doorstep that day, because he is literally a master of all. We talk about jack of all trades. No, he is master of all trades, I feel like, in the realm of Street Fighter V. So we're going to see if this is going to really play out in the way that we might anticipate. To be honest with you, from us at the desk, I have no idea how to call this. But my man, Arturo, he changed his shirt. Good on him. I do love the fact that he's been one of the biggest Dalsum pioneers for so long, right? He's been on this train even before I feel like I've even picked this game up competitively.
Oh, yeah.
And the other hand, you have such a prodigy within the realm of the fighting game series or fighting game community. You have Punk, who's been able to make such a big name for himself, and with the amazing skill to back it up. Right.
And it's just awesome to say these two are two of the favorites at 40 years old and 24 years old, just showing you that age is only a number here. And speaking of, let us see what Young Art has to say about this matchup coming up. He says, it's just another day. I'll try my best. Taking it in strides here right now. But you know, well, he said it. He's going to try his best, and he's going to do what he can to try to take out one of the goats of Street Fighter V in Punk the God.
I feel like in fighting games in general, because we were popping over to his stream a little bit before we got ready. I wanted to see what he was doing to prep himself. He was actually just big chilling. He was actually playing. He was just playing games in general. So I was just like, all right, well, he wants to make sure the stress isn't there. So I totally get that. But again, with the side of Arturo, he's been such a veteran for so many years that it's just another day to him, right? He knows what it takes to get himself mentally prepared for any sort of of occasion. And we've seen it. He's been the highlight of many Street Fighter V tributes, or even Street Fighter tributes in general, whether he's doing the winning or if he's on the opposite end of him being highlighted on, right? So this is going to be the matchup. It's not the first time they've encountered each other. There's been plenty of times where Arturo has had the best of Punk.
Yeah, exactly. These guys, I mean, through all the NLBCs in the past and everything like that, shout outs to Spooky, of course. Like, God, he and Punk have probably fought each other so many times. Him and Idom have fought each other, Punk and Idom. I mean, these guys, they're all so familiar with each other, and these are the three players in literally the same quarter of the losers bracket, and that is absolutely just terrifying.
Yeah. Well, we'll see whose final quarter stays up on the machine for this matchup. It is going to be the Luke. And this is the costume he's been using for like throughout Street Fighter League, and I do like that. I do like the specific jersey. I've been talking about the basketball jersey forever, man. I got to say, this is so cool.
I mean, you know, it's got to live up to the Pink to God name, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Just got to go with the pink.
Yeah.
Find
Team
them.
USA. I like it. Ooh.
Yeah, but
Oh, boy. I don't know what that was all about.
No, actually walked forward enough to not get hit by that fireball, so that's good. But here we go. You see why he plays Luke, because he wants to be able to keep this pressure on against Dalsum. What a sweep.
I can't believe you whiff punished. What was it, like a stand short with a sweep? You know what the difference is on startup? Jesus.
I don't understand how Punk whiff punishes some of the things that he whiff punishes.
Ooh, that's huge. Oh, you know what's fine. He gets the corner carry.
Yeah.
There it is.
Single hit
Sandblast.
confirm. Yeah.
Uppercut.
Look at that damage, and now the throw.
Are we gonna get the
into
roundhouse?
corner.
No, he's waiting. He's waiting on that tactic for later.
Yeah, I was gonna save that for a little bit, or just try to throw something unexpected. Wow, Arturo throwing out a bunch of those light punches there.
We're gonna EX Sandblaster? Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
From
just
that far
get rid
away?
of that fireball too.
Get Sandblast. Gets rid of it. That's fine.
Yeah, two of them are gone, and that's
a huge chunk of damage too. Off of the Gray Life, a giant cash out from Furby. Man, Arturo getting closer to the snipe.
Wait, he's got the life lead now.
He's in position. He's in position.
Sniper or standing heavy punch. Sniper might not kill. Oh, he just made it under there.
Yeah. That was the right call. He slid right into the range where that Fierce could actually catch, and you know what? He called out the Sandblaster. Nice work there from the first round.
Man, what a round finish. I mean, just in one round right now, we are definitely getting what we expected here between these two.
Oh, yeah, crouching medium punch, anti-air still within range, or within time, I guess, I should say. Look at the blocks, and look at the amount of chip and the Gray Life you get still just peppering
Timing
with mediums.
The timing of the standing medium punches is so good, but here comes Punk now towards the corner, and just like that, it is scary time for Arturo. V-reversal, but is able to be blocked. Blocked up and up, is going to be close to stun. One more tap.
Ooh, and he delayed that. He delayed that throw so much. Oh my God.
That was punishable.
Oh,
just only
you actually have enough to get the snipe. He
yeah,
can snipe him, and he
because
gets it.
of getting cooked on the V trigger. He lost so much health. He had so much
That's
gray
so
life
much
there.
gray life.
And then smart for Arturo, he didn't even go for the light punch snipe, which would not have killed. He went for the medium kick snipe, the riskier neutral jump medium kick snipe to get the hit at closer range.
It was do or die at that moment. He absolutely committed to like one of the tactics. And I gotta say, what helped in that instance was the usage of EX Fireball. I was expecting maybe like, you know, because you can heavy DP through it. I just don't think the range was there for Punk. So it was just really unfortunate to be in that position.
So Arturo right now, one game ahead of Punk. Is it gonna be a situation where Punk does not make top 8 at NA East? Can that even be an actual thing that will happen here?
Oh, I'm liking this so far. Pretty aggressive from the side of Furby, just despite being within close range. We've talked about this on plenty of streams before. Arturo knows how to fight it out close quarters, but here comes Punk. Look at the amount of carry you get off of that. That activation, and now you're into the corner. This is a dangerous territory, but for whom? Punk is at not too much life left.
Okay, there we go. Nice. Gonna get the full combo after that. Just needs maybe 2 more combos to be able to take this. No, he lets him slide out, but he gets the punish. Not quite enough to kill. One more hit. Just trying to.
Oh, that was sick. You thought a throw was coming from where now? I like Punk using suppressor, by the way. Him finally changing it up to suppressor is so refreshing. But that was something else.
Yeah, we definitely, as you mentioned, you see it at the high levels here. Everyone going with the suppressor. All of the Lukes we've seen, most of them actually, I think, have been going with the suppressor. Oh, good punish.
Yeah, I think all of them thus far. Or except for like that. I don't know. I think it was both, yeah.
Lil
Ooh,
Evo
yeah.
was using suppressor. I can't remember right now.
We'll talk about that. Counter hit conversion. That was sick. That was the sickest confirmed. So he actually charged up the knuckle based off of seeing crouching medium punch counter hit.
Yeah.
That is hard. That is super difficult to do, yo. Consistently.
I mean, was that a reaction or is that just I know it deep in my heart you're hitting a button and gonna get counter hit. Either way, reaction or not, Punk tying it up 1-1 to find out who goes up against Idom in the next round.
Oh boy.
And we'll see that later today too. So again,
yeah, we don't have to wait till tomorrow. That is a road to top 8 match. That's ridiculous. Low-key ridiculous. Get the heavy impact. Yes, sir. Still within range for the heavy extension after that.
Goodbye to a fourth of your life, just like that. Perfect distance drill. Stealing a little bit of extra with that crouching heavy punch. There we go. Gets the activation. He tried to do something in between. He's going to get crushed, and that's going to give Arturo the chance to go away. But what did he try to do? He got hit by the wake-up buttons from Punk.
Couldn't even imagine. So that drill kick not too deep. Allows Punk to kind of sort of bring it back.
Yeah. Oh, not close enough for that slide.
Jesus.
Oh, counters with the check.
Uh-oh. He has trigger again, but what was that? I don't know what that was from Furby, but
Yeah.
Arturo thought the Yoga Flame was going to be able to do something with it, right? He had bar to maybe do EX, but that would have been punishable. He could have maybe gone for like the latest Yoga Gale he could have possibly had, Airborne, right?
What a whiff punish from Punk to get this corner. Look at this. But now Arturo, yeah, that's a free teleport out of there thanks to that EX Fireball. Actually, could have been a couple of combos for Art as well. Oh, no Yoga Fire for you.
Oh, the counter hit still.
Yep.
Really?
Not quite enough for Stump, but just one little tiny hit now. There it is, the suppressor. And Punk is gonna take it over Arturo. And yes, you know, people probably would have talked about potentially a Punk Idom Grand Finals. No, it is gonna be round 2, top 16, loser side bracket.
Correct.
Punk versus Idom, but that does spell the end for Arturo here. But Arturo, is he in that World Warrior list right now? He's not, right?
He is.
Oh,
he is currently
he is.
5th
Okay.
in the running, so he does have
Okay.
another shot at greatness. Same with Punk, really, right? The 3 names that we were talking about thus far are still within range of Capcom Cup contention because of the World Warriors, so we'll see. But Arturo had such a phenomenal run for the first game, right? Really keeping Punk on his toes and really punishing the heck out of him in certain instances. And I don't mean like with punishes, etc., but I mean like there's the spacing that you really need to consider with that trigger, letting him cook up, and look at how much of the damage you really get. Watch after the Yoga Fire. I think you were within range to uppercut it, but it's still so hard to react to. And of course, you see the snipe really paying dividends considering how much he's cooked up.
Yeah, but then after that, Punk was able to get his momentum here and was down 0-1. But here you see the big stun right here with the super, gonna finish that off, and then coming here into the final game.
This is right here. We talked about that Yoga
Yeah,
Flame. I don't know what that was.
I mean, I think he thought the drill was gonna hit. Maybe it kind of threw off his timing that it missed. It might have been a Gale attempt that he messed
Maybe,
up.
yeah. Like maybe he tried to like do an instant air Yoga Gale, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't be able to tell you, to be honest with you. I'd have to look at the CFN later today, but
Right.
that's going to be a story for another time. This is the time right now, though. Punk versus Idom in round 2. That sets us up for a grand final scenario, except not in grand finals. It is in the loser side of top 16. With that in mind, we have our final part of round 1 in loser side. It's Jip the Boss going up against One Way to God Jesus. So this is going to be something that I personally have not seen as much. I've heard of Jip the Boss. I have seen him and do his runs in terms of like his tournament runs. He's done a lot of reruns also for Street Fighter League. He's been doing a lot in the streaming game, but One Way to God Jesus, I haven't even seen as much, but he's using the G. And it's not the only character that this person uses. He also uses Balrog if need be.
Yep, exactly. And Chip the Boss does have a couple of other characters in his arsenal, but probably will go with Alex. Let's see what he actually has to say about this matchup coming into this loser side top 16 match. And Jip the Boss says, not sure I've ever played my upcoming opponent, but much respect for them for making it this far, but someone has to catch a DDT.
Facts. Does that lead us into which trigger he's gonna be doing?
Yeah,
right?
I know,
Is that exactly
yeah,
what that is? I like that.
That's giving away a little bit right there. Gonna go with
Okay.
that V trigger too, Alex, perhaps here.
All right, Mr. Boss. I like what you're putting down. We'll see if his opponent can really bring it up to the table, because I personally have not seen, outside of like social media, I have not seen a lot of the big record, but we can pull that up pretty much during the matches itself, to be honest with you. But One Way to God Jesus is going to be playing the G. I don't imagine he would switch up to Balrog for any of these particular matchups, because Jip also has not only Alex but Falk under his wing, as well as a Fong, which is a very wide array of matches that you could cover from those three characters. But I think I'd imagine if anything kind of goes haywire with Alex, I'd imagine he could possibly switch it up to maybe like Falk or Fong.
I mean, this is one of the hardest things about the top 16 side, right? It's only 2 out of 3.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, a lot of times when you've got the 3 out of 5, you can try to change in the second one. If it doesn't work, you go back to your main. But this one, it's tough because you're like, do I risk this? You know, maybe I'll catch him off guard the first game, but then do I use up all of my tricks in that second game? You know, it's a tough way to go, but you know, we're going to find out how this is going to go. Again, Jip the Boss and One Way to God Jesus here. Not two players like, you know, you mentioned that we commonly see in CPT top 16s for the NA East region. But again, if you've made it this far, you are definitely worthy of your position here.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really, really eager to see these two players duke it out here for this match.
Yeah. Taking a look at the route that both players have had, when Jip the Boss was sent down to losers, I believe he had a big run, right? He ended up eliminating Deanthrax, the Cammy player, 2-0. He ended up eliminating Metro M 2-0, and then also took down iDrop 2-0. So he has taken down some big hitters over in the East Coast himself from the losers run. So he's got to be feeling phenomenal. Despite being the last one up, at least for the initial round one of play, he's got to be feeling so on point. But One Way to God Jesus, the way he actually went down here, well, he lost the ultimate weapon on the way down, which is one of the other Balrog players. So that's pretty interesting to note.
That's true. Okay.
But he's going with Balrog himself. It's not going to be the G.
Really? Okay, so he is going with the Balrog. Okay, so maybe this is just something he feels a little bit more comfortable fighting Alex with. But Jip the Boss definitely sticking with the Alex here. And again, another one of these characters who throughout the seasons he got buffed a little, then a lot. I mean, the one patch notes, I swear he was half the patch notes.
I think so, yeah. I believe so, yeah. Ooh.
There you go. Getting
like the
punched
patience
in
so
that
far.
situation. Yeah, but you can see both of them playing very, very slowly here. Now, I mean, one of the nice things about Alex, there you go, that crouching medium punch. It's a great button there.
Yeah.
It's a really, really great poke to have. A nice.
What a whiff on him.
But One Way to God Jesus with the counter, with the checks.
Oh,
Here he
boy.
goes, building up that V trigger.
Saying a prayer for Jip the Boss right now. That's going to be tough. Out of there, the V-shift and the punish afterwards.
Nice.
Lord help me. Oh, God, he's finessing him right now. Finesse and bless at the same time. I can't believe it. One Way to God. He's sending him a one-way ticket down to elimination. I got to say, that is a very, very impressive first round with the gloves of righteousness. We'll see. Oh, the neutral jump of peace. Bless him on the dome. By God, he had a family.
Jip the Boss gonna have to find some way to counter this right now. Counter this almost like a divine run here from One Way to God. Oh, there we go.
Blocking the overhead. He's already gone to confession last weekend. He doesn't need it anymore. He's coming in a clean man. Look at the jacket. It is of Holy Rights. Oh, boy.
What a whiff punish.
Stomping on the enemy. I love it. Look at the boots.
Jip the Boss right now, honestly, okay, well, he gets a good situation here. There we go. There's one.
Ooh, the lariat. So tough to even contest against. Even the standing medium punch, very difficult.
Oh, look at that. Close enough for the punish.
Ooh-wee.
But there you go. The defensive shimmy.
Ugh. Look at the slap chop in the throw. We're waiting for that
That's
DDT moment.
negative. Yep, negative. Got to take your turn, but now, oh, the,
The stutter.
delay, the
There's-
stutter.
It's crazy because there's no risk behind it. Like, even if it's blocked, it's -2. Like, that is a frame trap. One way to God knew exactly what to do to keep Jip to press buttons, like to keep him thinking he had his turn. But that's definitely not the case, right? You have to pay a toll.
Yeah, that one, like you said, safe on block. Definitely not a prayer to throw out right there.
No, definitely
Just,
not, yeah.
Very, very clean. And frame trapped him with that, and sure enough, Jip the Boss got caught by that. And so now Jip the Boss, like I said, it is really honestly feeling like he is a little bit lost right now. I haven't really seen him be able to get any of the Alex mix-ups going.
Yeah, he needs to find his way. That's for sure.
Well, here's a good start. He's got close to the corner position and has the anti-air ready to go. Double crouch heavy.
Oh,
punch.
jeez.
Ooh.
Goodbye, Anglo. Sorry. Does block it out. That is the EX version, so.
But here we go again. A little bit more defensive play from Jip the Boss. Not close enough that time, at least. One way to God, Jesus didn't think he could punish it, but he did get that punish there on the flash chop. The crush!
Ay, ay, ay.
Too slow! He was just a little too slow on the screw upper.
Not plus after that, Stomp. That just gives one way.
Oh, watch
a big
your
opening.
legs. And here we go. One more mix-up for the game.
Oh my God, multiple frame traps. Jesus.
Didn't
Literally.
actually take it. Oh, but he just read. Jip the Boss was so scary. After the plus frames of the EX dash punch, he had plenty of time just to walk up and get the throw. Now, one way to God Jesus is one win to go to the next round of the top 16 bracket.
We got to see it from Jip the Boss, man. Jip in his name. It's Jermaine is playing properly. He needs to do that right now. He needs to play proper to get himself into the right run for the losers bracket. He's been doing phenomenally up until this point, but one way to God has given him the big stop sign thus far.
Okay, goes for the regular throw, goes for the meaty right there. Not a counter hit, so that's going to be punished again. One way to God Jesus definitely knows his matchup and definitely knows the ranges in this matchup as well.
He's delivering the beatings, that is for sure.
Here we go. Again, sensing that Jip the Boss plays very defensive, so he's finding that opportunity. That is plus right there.
Yeah.
Saw one way to God Jesus trying to jump through there. Tried to frame trap again. Not going to happen. Jip the Boss on the board.
Like that. So there was a couple of moments where, you know, One Way had thought to himself, maybe I would have got command grabbed, but the fact of the matter is there's been so many sequences where Jip had actually led to that moment. It's like, you know, I'm going to frame trap you again and again and again until you sit still. And that's how you know, I feel like that's going to lead up into those power bombs eventually. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but you can see right now, it's One Way to God Jesus who knows that he has Jip the Boss on defense. He's been able to throw. He's dash punch, dash up, throw. And so now he's got this big life lead, but here we go.
Ooh.
And you're going to be able to get a mix-up off of this. Cross up to switch the side.
He had the hit. Plus frames, and look at the delay still.
He threw him last time. He just needs one more hit. Just going, look at all this gray health that's being built. The EX stun gun headbutt finding its mark.
Oh, that could have been it. That could have definitely been it.
Too far away for the light.
There's the DDT, the first one we've seen. He's making a believer out of One Way. Fear the DDT.
Oh, too far away, missed, but no whip punish. Here we go, the activation. Watch your legs, watch your legs.
Oh, the mix and the tech at the end. Oh, this is too scary.
Super ready to go too.
Oh my God, where's the command grabs?
Right? We haven't seen a single power bomb from Jip the Boss. He's trying to get him maybe the chip range right now so he can be...
The jump is there, and of course, the big Hail Mary from Jip the Boss, utilizing that neutral jump, or at least jump back jump, to catch One Way, committing to a dash punch for the punish. That was...
Ooh, that is the... You know, like you can fight
Oh
a Balrog and the boxers are waiting for those neutral jumps the whole time. But you get that one proper neutral jump on the dash punch, and it is lights out at that point. Jip staying alive by the skin of his teeth right now.
Man saying a prayer to get himself into the next round. But One Way, let's see if he denies or answers that prayer.
Yeah, let's see if he can actually, you know, parlay that miracle jump into a win here. No cancel on the second medium punch.
It's gonna be tough. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Power bomb.
You know, it's so scary because he's set up nothing but frame traps these past two games. I think this is going to be the game where we're going to see more of those potent command grabs. against One Way.
That's what we're hoping for here. That's the mix-up right there.
Oh, okay. Ooh, nice confirm.
Yeah, and now, oh, the regular throw he went for, so that's smart. That you can't punish that if you avoid the regular throw on whiff. Here we go. Yep, spend the EX, take the corner. Now, no resources left now for One Way to God Jesus. Here we go. Is that enough to kill? It is.
Sure is.
Jip the boss now suddenly on match point. We're in the first half of this set right now. He had looked absolutely lost, but this patient style that he's been playing is starting to pay off now.
Ooh.
Well, never mind. Here we go. Got caught pressing buttons.
Or so we think, right? We're seeing if the proper, or the playing is actually proper from the side of Jermaine. But as it stands, look at this. Look at the amount of frame traps back to back to back. That's not just One Way to God Jesus. That was at least 5.
And you know, this is what you see often, right? What you see one player win 3 in a row, the other player come back, win 3 in a row, and then all of a sudden the first player comes back and wins 1. So if he can do that over here, it'll go down to the final game, final round. But Chip the Boss here working on this slow comeback. He was able to do it with that one neutral jump last time, but he's got a lot more than that to take down. Oh,
This is tough. It's such a deficit.
oh.
And that was a counter hit. That was more than enough.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
One Way getting the full counter hit confirmed against Jip the Boss, all tied up.
Here we go. But look at the meter resource difference right now. Jip the Boss sitting on a ton, but there it is again. EX dash punch into dash.
Ugh.
Stun gun headbutt finding its mark. And yeah, One Way to God Jesus has been doing really good with the forward movement against Jip the Boss.
Oof.
Caught him low again, but
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
That's great.
Response.
Instead of
great
taking
response.
your turn with a normal, doing it with an EX power bomb, more than enough damage over the limit. Hold the plus frames everywhere. It's not your turn to attack.
And now counter activation. Both of them sitting here in a very dangerous.
Oh,
Got him with the
no.
frame trap, the walk up.
This is huge. Gets the knockdown, EX power bomb.
Not
One
enough
more
to kill.
touch. He could get a low. He does get the low. And even if he wasn't dead, it would have been the DT. Thus, there were boxers no more. My man, Jip the Boss, had taken down the One Way.
Jip the Boss, like I said, what a turnaround for him. Honestly, I was saying it, like I really honestly felt like he wasn't sure what to do at the start of these few matches here. He was getting hit by all the mix-ups. The one command grab he tried was B shifted out of. We got the stun here. One Way to God Jesus looked like he was just on a roll.
Yeah.
But Jip the Boss, like I said, went with his back as far against the wall as possible, found a way to make this comeback.
Again, he's a new man. He found a way to God Jesus and made sure to take it all the way back away from him. I gotta say, this was super, super impressive with the way that One Way was playing. He laid so many different frame traps, so many different looks against Jip the Boss, and found so much success in taking down the damage, but more so the corner positioning. I think majority of this game has been Jip the Boss in this corner, but it didn't equate to the same kind of results you expect from saying something like that.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see the neutral jump coming up pretty soon, that crucial
Yeah, that was in
neutral jump.
the final moment. That was in the left side of the corner too. And look at
Yeah.
this, that just big comeback
Right
factor.
here, there it
Ugh.
is. And how fortunate for Alex to have that heavy punch reach that far and still be cancelable as well. Very nice set of moves to have in that situation. But you saw right here, One Way to God Jesus does lose this first round here in a very close one.
Yeah,
Just
it's been-
like that.
It's been one of those things where you're kind of just looking for that normal activation, but look at where he peppers in so many different looks, and I like that, all off of a single frame trap. It's been led up to that very moment, but again, the counter hit dash punch spelled death pretty much for Jip, but then
That
the
right
one
there.
power bomb, just led to so much success. And again, the second one made him shake afterwards. Like he thought he was going to walk out, but still, he out-shimmied himself, I feel like. It wasn't not necessarily a throw bait, but he was trying to like micro step his way out of there.
Right. He was worried about the low. He was definitely, because he was back, down, back, back, down, back, back, down, back. But then he thought he was at a range safe enough. And that's one of the tricky things about Alex is that his normals have very, very good range.
Yeah.
And they can catch you by surprise like that. And I maybe think that One Way to God Jesus thought he was just outside of the range of that crouching medium kick, but wasn't far enough. He tried walking back, tried to get out of there. Jip the Boss will be moving forward to go up against Deadeye Artist next. But
big shout outs to One Way to God Jesus. This is the first time I've ever actually caught wind of this player, but very, very impressive for you to make it into the top 16. And again, this is a name that I've legit haven't seen throughout the entirety of the CPT in numerous years. His debut into CPT at a top 16 performance, really, really impressive. I'm looking forward to seeing how you play for the rest of it. At least maybe potentially the LCQ, or even World Warrior. Who knows?
That's true. That's true.
Well, I'm sorry, not World Warrior. My mistake. He wasn't in there.
He's not out.
But LCQ,
Yeah, because the World Warrior, in case you guys don't know, once the top 8 points are established, the final
already.
event are going to only be that top 8. But again, crazy here that we've already lost NYC Furby out of this tournament. As you can see here in round 2, it's going to be Lil Evil Knuckle-Doo, Ultimate Weapon Smug, Idom versus Punk, and Deadeye Artist versus Jip the Boss. But we're going to start with that Lil Evil versus Knuckle-Doo. And
oh boy,
do you feel like Knuckle-Doo, can he make it into the top 8 of NA East after basically kind of
2-3 year hiatus, I think?
Yeah, he's been, I mean, he won the first year of Street Fighter V Capcom Cup. A major victory there, and then played a little bit longer after that, but then just kind of disappeared for a little bit. And you know what? I mean, good for him taking his time.
Man's a family man.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly. A family man here, taking his time and living his life and doing his thing. So, you know, it's
couldn't ask for anything better for the young man, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
At the age of 26, he's accomplished much more than plenty of people in his lifetime. That's not even a joke. Like it's super impressive to see where he's come from and where he's at right now, and still continuing to be dominant even after taking a break for so long. Lil Evil on the other side, right? He's also been on the up and up. And the way that he was playing over in previous versions of Street Fighter, he was slowly starting to get it, right? He was just there. But there were plenty of moments in Street Fighter V where he's made some huge upsets, especially with the way he was playing Ed. I'm actually very surprised he's not controlling Ed right now, but it might, who knows, there might be a surprise Ed pick.
I mean, he was doing good damage. What was it, with the Evil Ryu in 4? Yeah, he was already doing good damage over there. And I
fundamentally sound, by the way.
Yeah, he was always that one player who was, I mean, this is the journey, right? You're that player that you're not winning the tournaments necessarily, but nobody wants to fight you because you have the ability to upset anybody. You're like one of those, the gatekeeper players who are some of the most terrifying players to run into in the bracket, honestly. And he just needs to get himself to that next echelon right there. This is it right here, and this might be the time here if he can take out Knuckle-Doo, because what a win that would be.
Yeah. And we talked about it, right? His journey over here, he's taking down Punk on the way, but he happened to fall short in the beginning of his winner's run. It's going to be very interesting to see Knuckle-Doo now with the G. He hasn't had too much practice against Luke outside of... Well, actually, no, I take that back. The first time he's really got practice was over at SFL.
Yeah, I was about to say, remember what he said at SFL, right? He basically dismissed Luke.
Yeah, he definitely did.
But yeah, too close right there every single time. Lil Evil's been able to punish that standing heavy punch. So let's see if Knuckle-Doo can back that up right here versus Lil Evil, taking out Luke with this G.
Ooh. That's kind of tough, too. The spaces where Luke wants to play at with the mediums, too. We talked about G having some of the best light bufferable normals in the game. That's going to play really well into what Luke is trying to do. Oh, the whip punish wasn't there, but still, very fortunate.
Single hit confirmed right there. Might have been a whiff option select. Oh, busting out after the light punch. Yeah, but confirmed here, Lil Evil definitely also using that V skill too. Yep, good block on the low. Not this time!
He thought he was able to move. He said, stand right there. Oh, no, that could have been V skill.
Yeah, he's been so good about that. And now he just needs one. Oh, he's too far away for that overhead. But now that's something that Lil Evil's going to be looking out for.
Oh, you're punishable!
Oh, he went. Oh, but that's not even an overhead, is it?
It is, yeah. The Impaler,
okay,
he would have gone for it.
Okay.
It would have been it.
Gotcha.
I love that. We talked about the bufferable normals, checking the dash on Lil Evil. Here comes Knuckle-Doo now. Trying to get a tick throw off of the light.
It's just a regular throw there, but nice tech from Lil Evil. But oh my god, again the single hit confirmed and Lil Evil busting out. Again, and there's that count. That was nerfed to not hit as far behind. But you know what? It still works.
Oh, he's crushing it with the normals. Or sorry, the fireballs, but the sweep afterwards from Little Evil. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough for Little Evil. He only has 1 bar, too. So even if he gets a big hit, it's going to be explosive. But I don't know how far it's going to lead to making this comeback. It's really, really difficult.
Yeah, but I wonder, is he planning to activate anytime soon? Or is he just going to go ahead and sit on this? He has not. I mean, at this point, I know you want the hit into activation for the damage, but I feel like you need the neutral control, the utility, and he just never activated. He was so intent on button into activation. I feel like that might have actually cost him.
I would have loved to see maybe like a stand heavy punch to kind of tease that
Right.
idea of like trying to go for it. But I think he was so concerned with either like sweep or even trying to get something off of the mediums. His fierce Luke's standing heavy punch is very, very far reaching and also very good being cancelable.
Yeah, and I don't remember how much meter NuckleDu had. Maybe he was scared of chip damage. If NuckleDu
Possibly,
had super,
yeah. I think
you
that could have been the case as well.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the meter that NuckleDu has now. We'll see it in the replay, hopefully. Oof, there's that punish again at close enough range. But again, that hasn't scared NuckleDu from fishing with those buttons at all.
Not ever. Yeah.
Ooh,
Just
nice.
push under. You get crushed. The fireball's been a very big deterrent against Little Evil. He's trying to be within range to catch something afterwards. You see him micro-stepping a little bit forward. There we go. A little forward. Big explosion. Dash up. Oki situation. The suppressor.
Oh, got him. What? Messed up? Oh, that is bad situation there. He got the suppressor. He got the pressure and the momentum just to get back thrown into the corner. And then here comes this.
Grab. Oh, and he was still going to do it no matter what the option was.
He has gotten
Sleeping trigger.
He has done so many of those. Oh,
He
what?
caught the last one. I think NuckleDu could have come in. I think he could have gone with like a jump normal a little bit earlier, maybe.
Yeah, I
like a
think
jump
so.
fierce.
He
I don't
just
know.
did it too late, and it got hit before he was able to hit Luke, I feel like. But you're right, if he had done a faster button, it might have come out in time to hit.
Either way, not too bad. You saw Little Evil commit to a light version flash knuckle. He charged it up. Was going to get a full punish on that. Actually, it wasn't even a big punish. NuckleDu had actually missed his opportunity, but still. There we go.
Oof. Oh, here comes NuckleDu. Corner position. This is the key right here. Fakes throw situation, perhaps?
Yeah, he was trying to bank on Little Evil thinking it was a command grab.
Oh, the fireball. Going to take it, build a little meter.
Built a
Finish
lot
this
of
up.
meter. He cleared his throat full out through like the first part of his speech, and I was just looking at the blue. It just boop, bounced up. That was crazy.
Yeah, so that's good for NuckleDu here because now he has the potential here for a good chunk of damage or just a lot of utility. Good patience, not falling for the suppressor this time. Little Evil got to go for a few more throws perhaps to try to get. No single hit confirmed, but a whiff punish from NuckleDu.
That's tough. Look at this, the amount of meter that NuckleDu has. Any sort of bufferable normal could lead to a smash over. Not ready for the punish, a little bit too far out. I think it's not even that punishable either. Smash over. I think it was like -2 or -5. I can't
Oh,
remember.
there's that light kick, finding the hit. Here's the pressure situation. Command grab. How much damage? How much meter is going to spend? None, actually. Regular throw. Now the
Ooh,
super.
again?
Oh, he
We
did
saw
it.
this. We've seen this before from Little Evil, but now that you have no resources, what happens? You can't capitalize on single hit confirms as
and
much.
now, for sure, if he activates, that is a super. And so Little Evil can't activate either. In fact, NuckleDu might just want to go into the super to force
He
him
can
to
critical
spend
art right
it.
now.
Yeah.
He can just critical art if he wanted to.
Yeah.
That's it. That should be more than enough damage. What are you going to do about it? Nope, can't do that.
I mean, if he had held the V-break, would he have slid through that?
No, I genuinely do not know.
Yeah.
He would have to time it to where he gets like the other part of the V-shift animation, like right when the projectile comes up.
Right. So, unfortunately, Lil Evil, no way to get through that. Does he have any projectile invos? Like, if he does EX run, is he?
No way, man.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way. He has
So,
armor on that, so
Yeah.
he didn't have enough life either way to
Wasn't going
spare.
to work out for him, but there it is. NuckleDu has worked his way into the top 8 bracket. And so that means he will be going up against the winner between Ultimate Weapon and Smug, which is a match that will be coming up next. But before we get to that, just want to remind everybody about the Capcom authorized mobile game, Street Fighter Duel, which is now available for download in China with that global version coming soon. The epic legend is reborn on mobile. Bet you all can't wait to play some Street Fighter on your mobile phone. So download Street Fighter Duel as soon as it becomes available for you, and let's fight for each other and join the journey with millions of players to become the best fighter in the world.
And we've had a pretty diverse list of characters so far that have already made it into Capcom Cup, which we'll get for you in due time. But even as it stands right now for our top 16, we're looking at seeing who's going to be the one to qualify from North America East, because of the fact that you get the new tracksuit costumes unlocked for the winner, right? The event's winning character will unlock the following Tuesday. So be sure to tune in as to who makes it from the top 8 into that grand final seat and overall takes it, because they will be unlocking a brand new tracksuit set of colors for the winning character. Now, we already have Luke unlocked thus far. We haven't had Sakura or Ryu. That would be pretty refreshing. But again, be sure to root on some of your favorite characters and some of your players to see whether or not you get those extra tracksuits. Or you can also check it out with Fight Money yourself. You guys have been grinding it out for month after month. I feel like, no, year after year. What am I saying? But when these tracksuit colors released, best believe I was trying to get all the colors possible. little completionist in me. But there's also been other types of costumes from the Street Fighter League side of things over from Japan. You can see all the costume bundles currently available. Nice. They are extremely cool, right? I've definitely purchased all of them. The one that's been the top seller from what I've checked out on Friday morning was the Hiroshima Team Ikuza on the bottom right. That has been the #1 seller. But we also have to boost up our boys down there, or up there, with Saishun Console Kumamoto, the top row with the big sun, the big soul on there. They're currently at the bottom of the barrel with 8th. We got to make sure that they also get some love in the limelight, because all of these designs have been super sick, right? You have the V6 squad, Good 8 squad, the Detonation Gaming, you have Shinobi's in Gaming.
I need to get those DNG.
For sure. You got the Gyogun and Nagoya Oja Body Stars. I do like the Nagoya Oja Body Stars one because it's got Daigo and Tokido there. But yeah, man, there's a lot to be said about all of these teams in regards to who's playing what, but also the V6 squad. I was talking about Tokido. I was on the wrong team. But yeah, all these designs, again, currently available now. Limited time offer for the Street Fighter League Pro JP Team Costume Bundle.
Awesome. All right. And again, we are heading down to the final stretch here of the last 3 sets to determine who makes it into the top 8 tomorrow. Again, you think this top 16 has been crazy. Top 8 is going to be nuts, but let's find out who are the last players, including a match between Idom and Punk coming after this break. You definitely do not want to miss that one. A rivalry for the ages after this break.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up turn defeat. So fight, time to fight. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are Street Fighters.
So then, you really want to go through the trouble? Fine.
Oh, we caught him in end zone! Real back in the seat. It's like, this is your first time tuning into Street Fighter League. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you.
This is Street Fighter League.
Looks like I can have a little fun now.
We're about to take you on a mad, wild journey.
Oh my God. I was actually in awe.
Street Fighter League is coming to see who is the best in the world. And I'll tell you right now, it's only the beginning.
I will fight you.
Gachiku!
Oh wow, Gachiku.
Oh, that is really unfortunate. You saw that exchange right there. We've seen Sakunoka whip punish it a couple of times, but the jump back, Hiro stealing it all back from Gachiku. You can't jump in the corner. What are you doing? Oh!
Oh my God, just 1 second left and it runs out the clutch. Just teasing, just lots of tea. Get the kettle warmed up.
And he gets the stun. That was nasty.
It's even more an international players ball. We're getting players from all over the world. And I said it before, but we're getting the best players here to show you guys off. No time to be wasted.
I think there's gonna be more than enough to jump in.
There's no escape.
That was actually broken.
That was actually ridiculous. Can I get the digital scissors on that?
We've been waiting for the final year of Street Fighter V. We've been speculating who's gonna be the golden players.
If you stand in my way, I will kill you.
I'm on another level. I won't stop, can't stop. I'm on another level. Yeah. I won't stop, can't stop. I'm coming for the devil. I won't stop, can't stop. I'm on another level. Yeah. I won't stop, can't stop. I'm coming for the devil.
Solving is your Central America West champion. Justin Kidd is going to Capcom Cup for the Midwest.
XSK Samurai. He is your North America West Capcom Cup qualifier.
Turn up the heat. Yeah, I'm on another level.
Oh my God, he's dead.
Another level.
There is a lot riding on their shoulders going into it.
So every match counts.
Street Fighter League Season 5.
It's good to be back because you guys are not ready with what's to come.
Show me better Street Fighter, bro. Where do you get these matches, B?
I will fight you.
I'm on another level.
Do you believe in fate?
I'm on another level. I won't stop, can't stop. I'm on another level.
Welcome back, everybody. As I mentioned before the break, we are at the home stretch here, bringing you the final 3 matches just to get in the top 8. It feels like we've already been doing a top 8, but we're just getting there. I'm James Chen, once again joined by Vicious.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
That's
all I
exactly
can
why
say.
I was like, yeah, you're doing the intro, and I'm just like, man, how is he gonna pull it out from this one? Because this has been absolutely intense, and I hope we've been doing it right by the folks at home and those that have been tuning in, whether you are a lifelong fan, a casual viewer, or even competitive player. We hope we've been doing it right by you guys, because again, it's all about you at the end of the day. And thus far, it's been super enjoyable to watch not only the matches but the reactions that I've been seeing break in, break out. We've been looking at everybody on social media. Everybody's been tuning into this for a very good reason, right? We're going to see who makes it into the top 8, and we're continuing along that line. Let's take a look at the bracket and who we have left going into it.
It's Ultimate Weapon versus Smug. Ultimate Weapon, again, currently second place in the World Warrior standings with that Balrog, but he's going up against Smug, who has a Balrog experience himself, so it's going to be an interesting match. And then, again, Idom versus Punk. I mean, a rivalry for the ages here. Definitely, you know, it's like a LeBron Jordan thing. Like, who's the GOAT of Street Fighter V, right? You sit there and you hear them talking about it all the time, seeing people debate who's a stronger player overall. And then Deadeye Artist and Jip the Boss rounded out to find out who was going to join Zonk Muscle, Kami, Shine, Space Boy, and Knuckle Dew in the top 8 for tomorrow.
I'm surprised you didn't say LeBron versus Kawhi Dom. And you're the basketball guy, James. We're both the basketball guys, but you're definitely the basketball guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very surprised at you, James, but I'll tell you what. It's going to be a very surprising turn of events to see how this plays out. Again, Ultimate Weapon having to face off against the Boxer main, who's taking a turn towards G, right? He's been maining this character for a couple of years now. I think since G had come out and seen quite a decent amount of success. But Ultimate Weapon, again, he has been dropping so many big names in the World Warrior events. He should be titled one of the big names himself as well, which he is.
Exactly. And so I'm curious right now to see how much Smug's experience with Boxer, knowing what Boxers want to go for. But a lot of times, if your opponent plays a character in a completely different way than you do, it really throws you off.
How many different ways, but can you actually bring that to the table, though? That's the question, I feel
How many different ways can you bring -4 to the table?
Oh, boy. There's plenty of ways, actually. So you can make it like -1. You can make it completely, tricky. You can get a counter hit and making them think they're not going to press the button. I mean, like, One Way did it a couple times over. He got a counter hit, right? So
I mean, he did EX dash punches to be plus instead, and then dash up and throw.
So you never know, right? It really depends on the nature of the beast. I feel like with this one, though, it's going to be very intimidating because it's something that needs to be said. Ultimate Weapon has to face off against the man who was in part of creating this character's playstyle, to be honest with you. I think he's been one of the biggest components, but as it stands right now in the current meta, Pugera has been really showing the light with Balrog even more so in different matches. So there's going to be a lot here on the line for both of these players, considering it's a loser's bracket run. We're going to see them put everything to the test. That was sick.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the whip punish right there from Ultimate Weapon now. So Smug having a little bit of trouble here in this neutral here. And again, G has some great neutral buttons. In fact, one of the best sets of neutral buttons in the game, probably.
I think some of the medium normals, like medium kick, could actually occupy some of the space, or even crouch jab. You see it countering the other. Oh my God, that was an impressive frame kill. He went 2 crouch charge. He's like, press a button, then boom! Exploding onto the scene. Smug down 1 round. Ultimate Weapon off to a great start.
Yeah, good start there. But a lot of these players, they spend those first few rounds amassing the data, right? So let's see if Smug got anything out of there or understands what kind of game Ultimate Weapon wants to play. But again, Smug is not in that top 8 World Warrior, and Ultimate Weapon is. And it's not like Smug hasn't been entering some of those.
True. Very true. We're hoping that the data doesn't get corrupted, but as it stands for Ultimate Weapon, he's been doing a pretty great job playing it out very patiently, too, being very weary of some of the lights as well. He's just been so on point with the spacing. Look at the range he's been playing out most of the time, and he's keeping Smug on his toes as well.
Now, Smug has all these resources, spends one of them incorrectly there, a bad confirm, and yeah, so this isn't looking good, but look, G obviously doesn't quite have the same power as before, but he's always been a scary comeback character. He is never dead. He is never out of it until he is dead. One more. Oh. Just looking for that stun, trying to go for the throw.
That was so far. That was so far. That was like max distance.
And like
Sir Smugglesworth.
Like I said, never out of it until he's out of it. And there it is right there. The comeback from Smug with that V trigger. That's how G gets things done.
True. Very true.
He's a true G.
Oh boy. I was looking for
nice.
whether or not he was going to go for maybe like an EX dash once again. Ultimate Weapon finding great success thus far. And look, he's built up his critical art already. And speaking of using the EX meter, it's now Smug's turn.
What a tech. But look at that. Perfect spacing on that throw tech. A lot of mediums are going to miss at that rate. What? Gets the back throw, and this is huge because one more hit and activation. Now you have to be careful. If he gets him down to chip value, Ultimate Weapon might be able to...
-4.
Oh, no.
That is punishable.
Oh, that might be it. Can he kill?
With the scaling involved, he has to go for it. Oh! What happened?
He spends one of them for the V shift. So he's not going to have the trigger, but he's close to chip. There it is. And Smug knew it. He knew it. He knew Ultimate Weapon was going to go dash punch into super. Ultimate Weapon was like, wait, I just got him down there. He's not ready. Here comes the dash punch super. I win. Smug was cognizant of it as well. He saw it as soon as everybody else. It was like, okay, here we go. Chip damage. Let me neutral jump. Dash punch. just like Smug predicted.
What a call out, dude. What a call out from Smug. My man's already had that in the wings, waiting. Just the fact that he was waiting for that very moment and called it out correctly. That is a superb read and execution from the side of Smug. But there's a lot to be said about Ultimate, right? He's been putting Smug into the corner so many times, and it's such a deficit as well. I want to see him close out some of these games because he's looked phenomenal at the start, even middle of the rounds, but he hasn't been a closer.
Yeah, let me tell you though, Smug has been surviving this entire top 16 on some crazy comebacks because against Mylin, it didn't look like he was doing too well against the Laura at first either. And then he was still able to pull it out. And yeah, from my brain, like I feel like Ultimate Weapon was doing better in the previous game, but Smug is the one coming out of here 1-0.
Oh boy. Get the command grab. Just amount of damage. D-skill, roundhouse sit him down. Trying to set him up, but the V-shift is there. Ultimate Weapon finding the great defensive maneuver out of there.
Not quite enough to kill. Oh,
there it is.
Double dash in the throw. Understanding how scared your opponent is. Beautiful decision there by Ultimate Weapon. And yeah, so hard to block that light dash punch if you aren't blocking before he starts it. Oh, he tried to can grab him, look like.
Catches Smug, trying to walk backwards against the grand blow.
Oh boy. How many comebacks does Smug have left in him here? Or is Ultimate Weapon going to be able to tie this up 1-1? Wow!
Slaps him!
And he's close enough for that light kick to connect. Here we go. Yeah,
out of there, side switch.
Exactly. Got a side switch in that situation.
Oh, we haven't seen that in a while, have we? The standing medium kick.
Such a good button, too. And Smug sitting on all this meter. One hit into confirm is going to do it. Oh, the neutral jumps into place.
He could have got so much out of that.
He didn't believe. He thought he was going to block in time. Oh no, watch your legs. No, and Smug with the comeback again.
The smash under. You have to fear it just as much as Balrog has his own, right? And V-trigger one, but that's not the case here. He's not going to be dishing out as much damage as G when he gets a smash under EX style.
Oh, did you see that just blow up that standing light kick? But Smug does make it out of the corner, and this is why it's significant, because here you go. Mix-up situation. Command grab from so far away.
Jesus.
He's going to do another one, isn't he? No,
not quite.
Just a regular
from here,
throw.
probably. Ooh, the good check there from Ultimate Weapon. The standing jab. Oh, it's not quite stunned yet, though.
Oh, he's got all this meter. He's got all the meter. Is this going to kill?
Yes, it is, James. Yes, it is.
Yeah. After all that, for sure, Smug advances to the next round to go up in a classic match versus Knuckle-Doo. But again, Smug, putting in the work there. Every round he won, I felt like, was a comeback situation where he was down a significant chunk of life and still was able to make that comeback. But again, that's what G does. That is how G operates.
Yeah. It's tough, though, man. You have to be a closer. This is one of the big things I want to highlight. Ultimate Weapon was doing so well for himself almost every round. It's just a matter of trying to finish it out against Smug. You can't give him these opportunities. You can't give anybody these types of opportunities. So it's just really unfortunate the way it went down. Just look at the overall patience and spacing that Ultimate was playing at to get to these very moments. And again, look at that. He had the right ideas for anti-airing, checking Smug on every defensive advance, but
that neutral jump
look
right
at how
there.
much life he has left.
That neutral jump was the key right there because he knew that Ultimate Weapon wanted to chip him. But again, look, it's Ultimate Weapon here, second place in the World Warrior currently, getting into the top 16 here on winner's side. It is unfortunate to go 0-2 once you get to top 16, but you went down to Shine and Smug. That's a tough road, man. That's a tough road.
True.
But he played so well to get to this point, and like I said, Smug had to make the comebacks every single time.
Agreed.
So
and that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate to spell it out that way. But again, with Ultimate Weapon, right? He could be second place currently in the World Warrior, but that doesn't get you to the cup, right? Second place at World Warrior gets you a handshake and a smile, to be honest.
Dang, don't say it like that, man.
I'm sorry, man. That's just how it is.
Add some stress to Ultimate Weapon here.
He played well. He played extremely well. It was just a matter of closing it out against Smug, because Smug can be unpredictable at times, especially having a command grab. And what's wild about it is Ultimate Weapon had switched off into Trigger 2 right? Trigger 2 didn't really see the light of day in that match.
Right. Yeah, and again, one of the hardest things about that is once we get to that top 8, the points don't matter anymore. So even though he was only 10 points under Kudo, it's just a top 8 bracket that you just go.
Correct.
The points determine your seeding. So he's still got a lot of work, but at least he has that opportunity. He has 2 potential chances here.
Yeah.
World Warrior, and if he's willing to travel and come out here to Burbank, try to go for one more out here. And, best of luck to him, man, because obviously a very strong player, and I'd love to see him get his chance to really, really put on a show on the big stage.
And it's just the one of many top killers in the East Coast, right? Ultimate Weapon doing great work for himself, coming in from Philly. He's not the only one of the greats that's coming in from Philly.
Speaking of killers
and
in
Philly.
the East Coast and Philly, next match, the classic, IDOM versus Punk.
Ooh-wee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the perfect time to bet all of your channel points because this is going to be a 50-50. IDOM coming in with that poison against Punk. This is a matchup that I have been blessed to see. I think his transition into Luke, I guess into Punk is the same thing, but into Luke has been a pretty successful one at that, right? So I do like this matchup overall. I wonder if IDOM is going to stick to the poison or even start off with Laura.
Look, IDOM, that's who he lost to on the winner's side was Kami's Luke.
Yeah.
And there definitely was some messages on social media from IDOM on, his thoughts about Luke as a character.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm probably going to see that because, I don't know, Laura up against Luke. I mean, Laura, at least the goal there would be to overwhelm Punk, or to overwhelm Luke, to give him not a chance to play. Poison is the character that can try to keep up with the... Wait, no, that's not true, is it?
No.
No
shot.
No.
That's coming from Zook Boots. No way, man. I don't believe anything he says. I see Zook Boots on every stream all the time. I don't believe a word he says. All right, you better give me a copy paste on that, word for word, bar for bar. I want to see it on social media and tag both of us. Okay?
Those boots were made for talking.
Yeah,
dude.
that's just honestly what they shouldn't do, to be honest, man. Zook Boots, I see you, man. I see you. You sneaky dog. I see you.
All right, but here we go. IDOM versus Punk, and it is going to be the Laura. So here we go. IDOM is going to try to do the overwhelming strategy, but that's not a way to make it work right there.
Oh, and it's Suppressor, too. Man, Suppressor could also avoid the command grab.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's the risky thing. And there's that neutral thunderclap that we've seen IDOM so good at. Look at that. He tried to fish with that towards heavy punch, but Punk interrupting. Uh-oh, here we go. And now close to a V-trigger activation for IDOM as well. Just needs to block a few more things, and that's what he's trying to do. See him walking up and trying to block to build up that V-trigger. Oh, he gets the counter hit.
The backdash is there, but still, IDOM catches the rest of it with the crouch jab counter hit.
And he still has not been able to build. Finally gets it. And on gray health, but gets hit, loses all that gray health.
Man.
The shimmy from Punk.
Can we talk about the defensive decision-making there? He had blocked the standing heavy punch. IDOM was baiting out the V-reversal. He gave it to him the second time around. That look in general was such a good read from Punk.
And it got him the round here, and so he's up 1-0. Oh no, mistimed it a little too early. You have to kill one frame, and that's very difficult to do. There's that plus frames again on that knee, and that's a stun, and here comes Punk. Gonna be able to go for some damage here. Not gonna be quite enough to kill, but he's right there. The shimmy twice in a row. The shimmy from Punk. He is up 1-0 over IDOM. Is there a potential here that IDOM, of all players, dude, either of these
is
players...
Is he going to retire today? Is that the
no,
is that what you're trying to tell me?
No. I'm like, either of them not making top 8 is just completely crazy. And I think we're switching to Poison at this point because I don't think the Laura seemed to work out very well here.
No, to be fair, I think Punk's defense was what really gave him the game too. On top of the tremendous offense that Luke does possess, I think it was his defense that really gave him that first round. Again, we talked about that situation where IDOM blatantly tried to bait out that V reversal. That could have been lights out. And that you know what happens if Punk makes the right has like the right reads, but also makes the wrong execution. Like he does get down in the dumps sometimes mentally. But again,
Punk's worst enemy has always been Punk.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Honestly, his worst enemy has always been himself. And when he gets in his own head, I feel like that's where he falters. But if he's feeling it like it looked like right here, he is, again, absolutely one of the greatest of all time. And there's a reason why going into that Evo that he got second. And he was the favorite to take it that year. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you could definitely see it from his demeanor too. When he pops off hard, right? He talks about it all the time too. When he's playing as Luke, he's like, "Look at me, man! Like I can do this too. Like as soon as you get in that mode of Punk, he's nigh unstoppable."
Yes, exactly. Punk is a very emotional player. You know, I talk about the kind of players there are out there. Punk is one who definitely wears his heart on his sleeve. And right now, he's also wearing his heart in the game right now because he has a big life lead over IDOM right now.
We see what the V-set is for IDOM. Right, we get 2-2.
Now, does IDOM, he doesn't get an automatic berth into Capcom Cup this year for being the reigning champion, right?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Don't put it that way. Don't put it that way.
But here we go right now. Punk 1 round away from taking this 4 rounds straight over IDOM. IDOM, a lot of success in the heart raid, the post-EX heart raid situation. So let's see if he can keep that going. Here we go with the same mix-up. Unfortunately for Poison and fortunately for everyone else, it's the same frame data on hit and on block.
I gotta check that out. Ooh. That's kind of tough. Yeah, we still have a little bit of the rocks back. Oh boy, yeah. Rising Rocket, keep him in check.
Now
He's gonna get roundhouse.
Corner situation.
That looked plus. I felt plus.
I mean, again, he might not be able to get back-to-back throws, but getting plus on that situation is so powerful because it's you put him in the Street Fighter V RPS again. Oh, nice. Oh, trade!
Oh, yeah. We definitely know about that. We 100% know about that. IDOM getting the right range for the heel kick, anti-air trade-off. So smart, so well done on the uppercut from IDOM.
That's a scary thing to try to go for, but when it works, you see it's a round-ending winning strategy. Wow, what a whiff punish. He was just going to hit that button, and as soon as he saw that light kick, he knew he had the free buffer.
And light kick of all things that you're whiff punishing there.
Right.
That's so fast. I do not want to whiff normals against him in Street Fighter VI, that's for sure. Oh my God,
Punk,
finally busting out.
Punk probably knew that IDOM wanted the back throw to switch the sides off of that situation, so he was going to try to tech, but IDOM knew that he knew.
Classic.
Yeah, there you go, the classic cross up and then jump right back out. But yeah, IDOM here, not going to spend any meter just yet. Oh, that might do it. EX, and there it is. And Punk with that Luke dishing out so much damage on so many of the hits and the pats that he has. IDOM is out of NA East, will not be making top 8. Punk moves on to join Knuckle Dew and Smug on the loser side of top 8.
What has the world come to see 3 Titans have to face off within the same path leading to this very moment? Obviously, it leads to extremely great Street Fighter. But overall, man, that is such a tough route for IDOM. Just looking at it right now.
I mean, he had a good round. He had a good sequence right there. But again, just Punk and his whiff punishes, his confirms, Punk doing what Punk does. And, you know, honestly, if Punk played at that alpha level that we were talking about, 100% of the time, I don't think there would be any question that Punk is the best at Street Fighter V.
Well, we're going to find that out getting closer and closer to that top 8. Again, he's already solidified himself against the rest of the players. But IDOM, again, it's so wild. It's so wild to see it that as it is right now with the current rankings of players that he's not in the Capcom Cup.
Yeah, and again, this is an interesting situation here because if you're IDOM, you probably want Punk to win this. Because if he wins this, he disqualifies himself out of that World Warrior event, right?
But you still potentially have to play him.
I guess that's true.
That's the thing.
He can still gatekeep. That's
no
true.
matter what.
Yeah,
I think Punk is still going to be in the World Warrior
And
event.
in fact, if Punk had nothing to lose in the World Warrior, that is going to be the scariest Punk, actually. So yeah, never mind on that idea right there.
Yeah.
But again, we are going to be moving to the last match over here. Deadeye Artist versus Jip the Boss here to round out our top 8. Again, we already have Zonk Muscle going up against Kami, who sent Idom to losers. Shine going up against Space Boy. Knuckle doing Smug. And now Punk versus one of these two 33-year-old players here, both obviously from the U.S. with Jury and Alex. Is that a good age? Is 33 a good age?
Oh, it sure is, James. It absolutely is. Yeah,
it's not, you guys can't see this at home.
It's not quite young and it's not quite old, but I'll tell you what.
Pumping his fists at that, so.
Let's go, Deadeye and Jip the Boss. I see you. All right, so this is a matchup that we also rarely get to see, right? We don't really get to see juries as much as we used, or sorry, as we are right now, currently, right? The other jury players within the States, obviously, is Just a Kid and GUPC, or GU for short. They've been doing so much work with this character, and sometimes every so often you'll get Prototype playing both of these characters, right? Jury and Alex. But how often at home have you ever been able to see Jury versus Alex on this stage?
Yeah, not too often. Well, I mean,
locals,
it's definitely,
sure, but
yeah, but it's more common now because there's definitely more Alexes out there trying to do the damage, and obviously more juries, especially with players like Just a Kid out there doing damage constantly. So again, these two characters definitely kind of wallowed in the doldrums of, you know, low tier for quite some time, but now both of them. And again, you know, we talked about this, and again, you know, this being potentially the last CPT here for Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is in such a good state. All the characters in this game are very viable, and we see a great variety here. And here it is, Alex versus Jury coming up.
Yeah, and it's always going to be so volatile when it comes to the East Coast. You never know what you're going to get with the top 16. So with that in mind, again, we've talked about the favorites. This is what it is. Right now, we're going to see who makes it into top 8 with this match. Starting things off pretty aggressively. Deadeye gets the throw.
Dashes up. First thing in the game. Just dash up right away. No fear. Ooh. Yeah, Jury is one of the hardest dashes to see, man. That thing is so fast. Oh. And we saw Jip the Boss. Remember, it looked like he was having trouble against One Way to God Jesus earlier. So let's see if he can actually... oh, that was nice. Let's see if he doesn't need to give himself that little bit of time to build up.
Oh, this is going to be a little bit problematic. Jip the Boss, get in the corner.
Oh, that's throwable? No, he didn't try. He didn't want to try it. Didn't want to risk it.
Damn, the chase down.
Whoa.
Doesn't lead to a lot, though. Did get it with the light pin go. Hey, that's going to be just fine if you're Jip. Oh, right into the power bomb. The anti-air is there. That's tough. I don't know. The neutral jump, I get the idea because you do have, like, normals that push you forward or even, like, elbow slash. But
elbow slash.
I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe the head
stun gun. It beats a lot of things against Alex. But Jip the Boss, he's been ready for it. And that time, even with punishes. Oh,
that's a lot of damage.
No.
That's a lot of stun. Oh, that was a frame kill and a half if I ever seen it. I want to say that was calculated. That is Jermaine playing properly. That is definitely Jip the Boss, dude. I'll tell you that right now. That was all articulate and calculated.
Yeah, well, what a difference. What a 180 with how we saw Jip the Boss start the previous game, looking like he was having a lot of work trying to figure out a way to get past One Way to God. But here, just coming right out of the gate. And Deadeye Artist came out on the aggression, right?
Dashed up and grabbed.
Yeah, exactly. And then
dashing with the throw.
And Jip the Boss was like, oh, I see. You're an aggressive player, so I'm just going to bait out this EXPs.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is what Deadeye Artist wants to do. This aggression. Oh, but he puts himself in the corner.
Hey.
It's so tempting to go for those cross-ups, and it's just a lot of times it just doesn't pay off.
It never does. It never does, really. No reversal here. Yeah, you see Deadeye trying to bait that out. Trying to go for the throw. Yeah, still keeps himself safe. I don't think it's his turn from that far out with the fireball, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A little bit of reluctancy from Jip the Boss.
But Alex has that ability to do a lot of damage. I mean, goodness knows we've seen enough Alex comebacks on social media, right?
Thanks, Demon Dan.
Oh, but the cross-up is going to find its mark. And there we go. Deadeye Artist on the board here with round number 1 of game 2.
Oh, we see a neutral jump in anticipation for possibly what, maybe like a dash up from Deadeye.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do enjoy the read.
trying to check with that standing heavy kick. Gets the crush. The big damage off of this into the corner. And perfect. Just outside of stun and far enough away that it's hard to punish that. And even though he's not going to get... Oh, actually, never mind. He still might get the stun. He doesn't even need it. He just needs the kill now.
Oh, the roundhouse midair. Oh, I was waiting for a command grab.
What is happening here? Oh, my God. And yeah, that's fun. Oh, can Deadeye Artist do this? Can he find the comeback this round? He's got a lot of meter, but he can't spend it into super unless he knows it's going to kill.
Oh.
No, Jip the Boss with the anti-airs all ready to go. Jip the Boss now 1 round away from joining the top 8.
I was wondering if he was going to get that into like slash into critical art, but
yeah, but again, that would have been too early to spend, I think, for the critical art.
That's fair. Oh, that's minus. Oh, you get the power bomb EX.
Okay, doesn't really go too aggressive after that. Ooh, what the heck? That backdash just went right through that. The airborne frame's avoiding it. That stop cannot hit airborne frame.
Oh, just outside of another throw.
Check with that. Oh, that could have been punished, but the wrong button. There's the shimmy.
Not quite dead. Instant overhead.
Watch out. Oh, there it is. There it is. That I think that was the stand medium kick.
Medium kick against the crouching medium punch, yeah.
Yeah, quick and, what was it? Quick
and late.
Quick and late. There it is, yes. Quick and late.
I'm going to get that on my wall, James. I'm going to grab a photo of you. I'm going to put it right next to it. It says quick and late.
Quick and late.
Quick and late. That's James.
Quote, unquote, dash Abraham Lincoln, you know.
Yeah, Michael Scott, everything, yeah. I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down there, James. Deadeye Artist picking up the game number 2, tying it all up against Jip the Boss.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a problem here now. So
that was so sick.
Jip the Boss has seen, you know, what can happen when the opponent makes the adjustment. That wasn't punished. Oof, yep, there's that meaty. Not the counter hit, but didn't get anything afterwards.
Yeah, that's a really difficult scenario also after the pop because Jip the Boss didn't get exposed with the frame trap. Jumping back though.
Catching the jump back with that V skill.
Oh, that's so smart too.
Yeah, but the trigger now gone. And Deadeye Artist still in deficit here. Jip the Boss going to be trying to build up to his V trigger, but hasn't needed it yet.
Ooh. Oh, I like that. You know, he's been getting a lot of mileage out of these sudden V skill 1 bursts.
And there you go, Jip the Boss spending a little bit of his V gauge on that V shift. He's still in range for that. That's the advantage of having that 2-bar V trigger. You can spend some on that V shift, especially if you get the slowdown.
Look at this. Oh my God, I blinked.
That was the perfect timing.
You know what's unfortunate? It actually gave Deadeye that last bit to get V trigger.
Yeah, but you gotta watch out for oh wait,
damage.
How much damage can he do? Not enough to kill, but you gotta watch out. Oh, Brock gets the tick throw. And Deadeye Artist with the comeback. And now Deadeye Artist is 1 round away from getting into this top 8.
It's Artist with a Z, James. You got to put respect on the name. You got to call out all of the artists involved in this collaboration. Deadeye is looking to take it. A big mistake from Jip the Boss. Still looking at that perfect. Deadeye on a hot streak offensively. No commits to a sweep. He played with his heart on that one.
Exactly, but gonna charge up there. We've seen him use that V skill very well, finding those marks, catching people walking forward. But here we go, the activation, the power bomb. Okay, time to be worried here.
Do it again. Uh-oh, punish!
Oh, punish, yep, look at that. Into the DDT. And
you were in range to another one? Oh my God.
But he just walked back and got away with it. Tried to go for double low there. Check. Oh, that wasn't even a trade combo, but it still found its mark. Wow, what a jump back light punch. Yeah, Deadeye Artist has got to build up that meter. Oh, he doesn't even need it. Gets the single hit confirmed. Deadeye is now dead into the top 8. Nicely done for him. Unfortunately, that means Jip the Boss is out, but Deadeye Artists now will be in the top 8 on loser side and will be going up against Punk the God in the next round.
That is quite the congratulatory positioning for the top 8, so that's going to be pretty important for him going into it. But as it stands right now, he's been playing pretty well. Like, there was a moment where it could have been a little dicey towards the end, right? Jip the Boss showed off some of his cards, some of his great strengths, right? He was tracking down the anti-air significantly, or consistently, I should say, getting these big whiff punishes as well. But I think, even the call out against the EX uppercut, I think even towards the later end, after he's already deterred Deadeye Artist from doing it again, I would have loved to see more of those power bombs come in.
Yeah, and shout outs to Deadeye Artist too, because he started off pretty strong, pretty aggressive, and then things looked like it was going kind of bleak. But that's why you love fighting games. You see these kind of shifts back and forth, these momentums, changing jerseys like that, and it's one of the things that makes fighting games exciting to see. And Deadeye Artist was able to take it and get the victory here.
And you see towards the end of it, right, Jip the Boss actually had this momentum going into the, second to last part of the game, right? That's been so close. He could have had it all. He does get the round here, but at the same time, this is where Deadeye Artist slowly started to make his way known, too. With the amount of meter that he's been utilizing, it's been very important. But again, Jip the Boss had some right call-outs, too. Eventually, Deadeye managed to tie up the games, right? We've seen a lot that went Jip the Boss's way, especially with this corner positioning, but it didn't necessarily
this
equate to
heavy
success.
kick out of nowhere. Dude, what a timing on that one, dude.
I feel like Deadeye intentionally got hit by it.
Oh, maybe,
right? Because he wanted that trigger.
It's true. It's true.
Maybe.
It's just a heavy kick, but here we go. Deadeye just needs this one hit for victory, and he just dashes up, catches Jip the Boss coming forward, and Jury's dash is just that much faster than Alex's, so going to be able to act first, gets the hit, and there you go.
Yeah.
Jip the Boss goes out, but again, shout outs to him. Not easy making it into the top 16, let alone the top 13 here. The top 9 here of a top 8 here. But Deadeye Artist joining Zonk, Muscle, Kami, Shine, Spaceboy, Knuckle-Doo, Smug, Punk, and Deadeye, and himself in the top 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, he started things off on the winner's side, right? So most of the time that we've seen, I think we've talked about this a handful of times, where sometimes if you're the first to play, it's such a detriment to your mental to play last of the day, and then sometimes you don't even have that kind of momentum anymore. But luckily, or actually fortunately for Deadeye, he's able to keep that pace in mind to understand what he needs to do to get it done. So he does. He successfully makes himself into the top 8. So big ups to him, and also big ups to Jip the Boss. It was very entertaining to watch that Alex play and watch Alex in general. But through and through, all the players that have been participating throughout the entirety of the year and up to this point in time for the NA East, you guys are easily one of our favorites to watch.
Yeah.
So it's been quite the pleasure to see all the names that have played their hearts out in the top 16. Unfortunately, there's only a few spaces for top 8.
Yeah, exactly. And only a few spaces for that World Warrior as well. We're not quite done yet. Just want to remind you again about Street Fighter Duel coming out, global version, very, very soon. You want to make sure you pick this up when the global version comes out here. It is currently available in China right now, but Street Fighter 2, of course, with all of the classic storylines, all of your favorite fighting styles, all of that is brought to you on the mobile platform. So download Street Fighter Duel now, and let's fight for each other and join the journey once again with millions of players to become the best fighter in the world.
And we're slowly getting to that pace too with Street Fighter V and the Capcom Pro Tour as we see ourselves getting ready for the big dance, Capcom Cup number 9. Now we can only crown one winner from this top 8 coming up tomorrow, but there also happens to be another way to qualify. That's right, the last chance qualifier. The registration is now open to get yourself a ticket into the big dance. You got to win that LCQ, and one way to get into the LCQ is obviously by going to capcom.us/LCQ. Mark your calendars, make some room, some financial room for yourselves, and get yourself into Burbank, California on February 12th and 13th. Again, this entire week is going to be a big celebration of not only just the game, but you folks at home who have been putting in the work to bring all of the support and bring all that energy like the fighting game community usually does. So big ups to you guys. Be sure to treat yourself to a last chance qualifier. Again, capcom.us/LCQ. Ladies and gentlemen, we've rounded out the top 16 into the top 8, but I'll tell you what, we've got so much more to look forward to, especially with Street Fighter League still being a part of the Capcom Pro Tour, right? We're seeing week number 9 that's going to be happening Friday, December 9th, 4 p.m. PST with Red Rooster versus UYU, and best believe you see the man DCQ getting ready for that matchup. Then it's the Nasser X Bandits versus going up against Team Panda. So that's going to be very interesting to watch overall because these teams have been duking it out. I do believe Nasser, Bandits, and Panda have been within the top 3 to top 4 thus far. So it's going to be quite the banger. You don't want to miss it. Alongside, I think Street Fighter League EU is going to be happening as well out on Monday. Then, of course, Street Fighter League Japan, its final week is pretty much next week.
Oof, man, and don't forget, part of the whole proceeds of that awesome celebration of Street Fighter V, that is going to be the Capcom Cup. There's going to be a lot of Street Fighter League action there as well.
Oh, yeah. It's a week-long celebration for Capcom Cup. Just to let you guys know, right, we see the LCQ February 12th through the 13th. That's going to be the group stage to see what happens with the players going into the actual top 32. I think there's going to be more than that. I don't even remember what the number is. But we also have to account for the World Warrior players that have qualified. So that group stage is going to be happening throughout the 14th through the 19th, right? We also have a significant amount of space for Street Fighter League, as well as obviously the big dance on Sunday, the final day. Again, mark your calendars. It's going to be streamed, and it's also going to be popping. Y'all need to come down here so I can shake your hands in person.
Absolutely. Love to see you guys there. Again, try to grab your tickets and stuff, but we're not quite done yet. We're going to take one final quick break here and come back, wrap things up for you guys, and prepare ourselves for the top 8 tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. We still have a little left to go. See you after the break.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand have turned defeat. So fight, time to fight. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are Street Fighters.
Go too far. Please forgive me.
My name is Seth. Bow down for my cycle. It's time for trial. Show me everything. Download.
This will do.
And there you have it. Zonk Muscle, Kami, Shine, Spaceboy, Knuckledew, Smug, Punk, and Deadeye Artists will be your top 8 competitors for the NA East tomorrow. Yes, you heard right. No NYC Furby, no IDOM. They have no Kudo. All 3 of them out of the tournament before the top 8. Kudo out of the tournament before the top 16.
Losing his first round in his matchup. Man, that's rough. To be honest with you, again, anybody in the East Coast, I feel like they participated in this tournament, but there's only 16 slots, man. As good old Rob Burney Sr. had said, there has to be a loser, son.
Yeah, you can't have winners without losers.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the way it works. And so if we take a look at this bracket over here to see how everything went down, you'll see right here in the winner side over here, Zonk Muscle. Yeah, it's hard not to say.
You got mixed too, man. We all got mixed.
Yeah. Going up against Kami, you see here, and Shine. Like I said, this is a great chance for him right now, but he's got to get past Spaceboy, and we saw what Spaceboy did to Lil Evil with that 2-0 win over there. And so, yeah, you have Zonk and Kami going up against, and Shine going up against Spaceboy.
So taking a look at this right off the bat, right, we were talking about our predictions going forward. Now, one of the biggest highlights, obviously, we see Shine in there, we see Spaceboy, we see IDOM and Kami, we see Zonk and Deadeye Artists, etc., right? The one that caught our eye the most as we were preparing for this bracket, right, was IDOM versus Kami. I was thinking to myself, Kami's doing really well with this Luke. IDOM, I feel like he's IDOM. What else needs to be said? But there was something in particular that I was really concerned about was how much has IDOM adapted to the Luke matchup thus far. And it's been very, very difficult to consider what had been happening with these last couple of performances from Kami too. So it was, I think, personally, this one was the biggest highlight of my weekend. Watching this matchup come to this result. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Luke is a character who can play it offensively or defensively. And so that kind of matches up well with both of the characters that IDOM wants to use. As we saw in the Punk match, if we go to the loser side of the bracket here, of course, IDOM and Punk played against each other. And sure enough, Punk was able to 2-0 IDOM, and IDOM went with Laura and Poison, neither of them finding it their mark. But in round 1, as you can see, again, Itachi's Legacy, Mylin, Arturo, and One Way to God Jesus all going out right away. But again, getting here in the top 16, not an easy feat. I mean, you're sitting here saying, man, I lost in the first round of loser side, but you tied with Arturo, who is one of the favorites here to finish here, right? Yeah. So, but Knuckledew, Smug, Punk, and Jip the Boss all advanced. Jip the Boss, however, was not able to carry that forward, did lose the Deadeye Artist, but the other 3 all parlayed that round 1 victory into a round 2 victory and have made it into the top 8. Knuckledew, Smug, Punk, and Deadeye Artist all going to be facing against each other here on the loser side tomorrow.
And as much as I enjoyed watching some of the matches that went through between Mylin and Smug, as well as Jip the Boss versus One Way, I think One Way, again, could have easily taken it down, just a couple of guesses wrong, though, against Jip the Boss. Jip the Boss played phenomenally towards the end as well, because it looked like he was going to be cornered throughout the entirety of that series. But looking into it, addressing the elephant in the room, right? NYC Furby, aka Arturo, Young Art, going up against Punk. That also could have gone either way, with the way that Art was cooking up Punk in the first couple of times over. Literally with V-Trigger 1, there were so many opportunities where Arturo had cooked up Punk for a decent amount of damage and actually cast out on it. It was really, really dicey for Punk.
Yeah, with that one neutral jump sniper with the medium kick.
Towards the end,
it was very, very good. But unfortunately for Arturo, wasn't able to seal the deal with that. That took him to 1-0, but Punk winning 2 straight then, and then winning 2 straight over IDOM as well. Punk definitely, embracing the meta here. I mean, it's interesting because I feel like in a lot of the other regions, everybody knows Luke is strong, but I feel like it's really in the U.S. that Luke has really, really kind of just been dominating the mix here and the meta in the matches out here.
I would say so, yeah. I think there's a lot to be said with who's playing Luke in certain regions and who's actually found that kind of success. I think, the U.S. has pretty much done that pretty well in comparison to the other areas too. I mean, there's a lot of diversity within the realm of NA, EU, and Japan, but I feel like the ones that have switched over to Luke have found a good amount of success percentage-wise. So with that in mind, let's take a look at who we have for our top 8 and look at the diversity so far. We have a Cody from Zonk, going up against one of the Lukes from Kami. That's going to be quite the banger. I want to know exactly. No, personally, I've actually been able to see this from a multitude of different regions. This is going to be another one of those where we get to see Zonk really step up to the plate, because this is a guy that I personally have not seen enough of.
And what's interesting is I think we might have a repeat matchup here, because it might be Cody versus Luke on both halves of those brackets.
Oh my God.
Right there.
You're right.
Yeah, Shine is probably going to bust out the Cody as well, and Space Boy with that Luke as well. So we've got Cody and Luke potentially there. And then, of course, on the loser side over there, Deadeye Artist going to be sticking with the jury that he's playing. And Punk probably going to go with the Luke.
1000%.
And Smug and Knuckle-Doo. I mean, Smug probably going to rock with the G. Knuckle-Doo, is he going to do GG, or is he going to go somebody else at this point?
Even if it's not GG's, it'll still be GG's.
Yeah,
regardless, right? Smug and Knuckle-Doo is always going to be a treat to the eyes and ears for those Street Fighter V fans, and even for the casual audience. I got to say, this is going to be a match to behold. This entire top 8 is the culmination of NA's hard work, and I will say that and mean it, because East Coast has been nothing but dominant these last couple of years for Street Fighter V. I'm really excited to see it, James. Off the top, right? Which match are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, this one right now, I mean, I think Shine and Space Boy is actually the one that I'm looking forward to the most here, because, I mean, again, look, I you know, all objectivity aside here, Shine is absolutely one of my favorite players, you know, to play fighting games. I mean, he's just fun to watch. He's always been on the threshold of just, you know, with the big victory here, and I would love to see him do well. But again, that's not saying anything about Space Boy is an amazing player, and he has really asserted himself into one of the most dangerous players in this region where it's hard to assert yourself, you know?
I agree.
And so that matchup right there is going to be such a key matchup to find out. Like, I feel like whoever wins that has a great chance of getting into the grand finals.
Yeah, it's been such an amazing progression watching Space Boy and Shine develop into the players they are today, because they are now talked about within the same breath in terms of competitive prowess. I think both Shine and Space Boy is going to be a really tough match to call also. And if you haven't had your fill with one Cody versus Luke, well, you know, you have another one with this one too. So I really do like that call out, by the way. But yeah, these are the matches to behold in top 8, and it's been hopefully done right by us to you guys. Again, this has been such a very interesting journey into the top 16, even before the top 16 even started, right? We were all in anticipation of who's going to make it into the big dance. I'd waken up extra early to check out as many streams as possible, and I was like, thank God there's traffic at this hour. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good chilling. It's not safe, it's not advised, but hey, man, I'll tell you what, these guys have me at the edge of my seat, and for very good reason. A very, very talented region in the NA East. But with that in mind, again, any final thoughts going into it?
I mean, like, you see this going into this, and again, you know, we talked about a long road just to get here, but I mean, this is, like I said, this might be the last CPT of Street Fighter V, and so it's been a long road to get to this point, period, you know, not even just for this NA East. And so it's just been wonderful to see all the competitors from around the world, from all the different regions, coming together and playing these fighting games and stuff. And honestly, fighting games are such a family thing for me, you know what I mean? Everybody that I've met here in the FGC are my friends, they're my family, and I love them very dearly. And I do want to take this opportunity, if I can, just for one particular shout out here. I definitely want to wish one player, Lily Ko, who is from Southern California here. You may have seen her play some Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Amazing Dante player and just one of the best combo artists out there. I know she is basically fighting through some cancer situation right now, and you know, I want to wish her the best, and you know, give her all the spirit bombs and all the love possible to hope that she can make it out of this battle. And again, you know, we're all one part of one fighting game family, and you know, she's somebody that I know very well, and so you know, this is something that, you know, is very near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. We wouldn't have gotten there without the, you know, the love and support of the fighting game community. So big ups to everybody that's been involved in supporting her on her journey as well. And also just being a part of the journey as the FGC. So nothing really more I can really add on to it. James, we'll see you for tomorrow. Same with you guys at home. We hope to see you guys at the same time, because this is, again, the Capcom Pro Tour. You do not want to miss it. When we come back tomorrow, we'll be crowning our champion for the NA East to join the rest of Capcom Cup. You do not want to miss it. Check out the VODs, by the way. It was a banger. We'll check it out for the next time. Take care. See you tomorrow.